Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? Good to see all the smiley faces.
Good.
My name is Justina Greenholz. I'm a Director of Center of Excellence, and I am so honored to welcome everyone to 6th edition Capstone Program Final Presentation. Over the course of the spring 2021, we had the opportunity to work with such a phenomenal students from Georgia State, Atlanta Technical College, and Kennesaw State University. On the agenda today, we have amazing presentations, so please stay tuned, enjoy it, and ask questions. Today on the call, we have a special guest, Vice Chair Natalie Hall, our executive team, Glenn Melendez, professor from Atlanta Technical College and Georgia State, our amazing sponsors, of course, and clients, and our astonishing students. And I'm gonna hand off to Glenn Melendez.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today. I will be brief, and I will just say that I am so eager to hearing presentations today from the students, their capstone presentations. You know, this program started several years ago, and it continues to grow. You'll see the number of students that are on this call today. And as we kind of move from semester to semester, I'm always impressed by the work that these students are bringing to the table. I will say that we started the program where we thought we were maybe going to get a little help, and maybe at the same time being able to provide some interesting projects to students in neighboring schools. And I will tell you, over the years that the program has been going on, I find myself learning more and more from the students each year. So I am very impressed. In terms of internships, I hope this internship or this capstone program has been as fulfilling for you. I will tell you that, you know, many years ago, as I reflect back on my career, many years ago, I did an internship as well. And my internship was pivotal in determining my trajectory in terms of working in IT going forward. So I hope that this program has been just as instrumental for you and really getting something out of it in terms of, you know, your career direction. Very unique to Fulton County for these students who are engaged in IT projects in Fulton County. I will say that I often jest with my colleagues in the IT space that IT is a unique space in the private sector versus the public sector. In the private sector, you will often be very instrumental in helping companies improve their bottom line. And that is great. But in the public sector, you have a unique phenomenon where you're using technology really, truly to change the lives of people we serve. And that is something that you cannot replicate in the private sector. I often joke and call it a social technologist. I don't know if there's such a career out there as a social technologist, but it is truly something that is unique to the public sector, and that is truly very valuable in the public sector. You are impacting people's lives with the work that you do, and hopefully for the better. So there's something very unique and very heartwarming about being able to use IT skills in the public sector. Without further ado, what I want to do is introduce to you, we have a very special guest today, Vice Chair Natalie Hall, who is instrumental for the direction of Fulton County and is part of the Senior Executive Board of Commissioners. She is the Vice Chair. And what's unique about Natalie Hall is Natalie Hall has a IT background. And it really just shows you the diversity of how you can take IT and go very different directions within your career. And I will tell you that even as she makes policy decisions for Fulton County, she keeps me on my toes from an IT perspective because she has a very strong IT background. So I thought it would be I thought it would be just fantastic for her to join us today and maybe just share a little bit about you know, her career path, the uniqueness of her career path, and all that she has to offer with the team. And without further ado, I introduce to you Vice Chair Natalie Hall.
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing?
Good. Good morning.
Doing good. Thank you.
Morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm your Fulton County Commissioner of District 4, Vice Chair Natalie Hall, and on behalf of the Fulton County Board of Commissioners and the residents of District 4, it is with great pleasure that I bring you greetings. District 4, for those of you who may not know, encompasses all of downtown, Midtown, the old Fourth Ward neighborhood. It takes in Grady High School, Atlantic Station, the new quarry where Microsoft purchased about 90 acres of land. It takes in all of the northwest side, northwest of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium to Fulton Industrial Boulevard, where the Charlie Brown Airport is. And it comes down to I-20, and there's a portion that goes into Southwest Atlanta, down to Campbellton Road, where the Andrew and Walter Young YMCA is located. So my district is unique because it is entirely inside of the city of Atlanta. For all of you that are here today to present your capstone, it's an honor to virtually join you and witness your success, your hard work, and your dedication. A vision on its own is just not enough. Hard work and dedication is required to make that vision a reality. And that's what the completion of your capstone represents. Each one of you have built valuable relationships throughout the duration of this program, and I cannot be more proud of you. The projects you will present today will showcase your hard work and dedication and open new doors to opportunities for you. You've made the conscious decision to invest in your future careers. So I'm proud to say Fulton County is dedicated and committed to providing educational and networking opportunities for all of our young men and women to gain meaningful work experience in the field of information technology. So while also helping to facilitate a straightforward path to employment. Since 2018, Fulton County's IT Center of Excellence program has granted over 200 college students the opportunity to build substantial connections through team building, conduct professional meetings, gain time management competencies, improve adaptability, design thinking workshops, and work directly with vendors, and so much more. And as you may already know, the IT field is literally growing. It's one of the fastest growing industries, actually. So prior to becoming an elected official, I worked as an IT manager my entire career, graduating from college and going directly into the IT field, working for Ross Perot's company called Electronic Data Systems, EDS. And for those of you who may be too young to know this, Ross Perot ran for president at one time, and he owned his company, EDS. In my role as an IT manager, I later on joined the IT department in Fulton County. I won't say what year because I don't want to date myself. You might think I'm just really that old. So as an IT manager in Fulton County, I was actually the new technology division manager. My CIO, which was called just a director of information technology back then, created an entirely new division called the New Technology Division, where I literally got all types of new technology from, anybody remember those Nextel phones that used to be like Spock, beam me up, Scotty? Nextel gave us the first set of phones like that. Everybody thought we were from outer space. We did all sorts of things, but best of all, we created the first Fulton County website, co.fulton.ga.us. We created the first MindSpring email accounts in partnership with mindspring.com. They are currently known as Earthlink. We brought in the modems, the old modems. You may not have even seen these modems before. They used to make a noise like a screeching car, like skirt, skirt. And they were so slow. It was nothing like the internet today. So we had so many great projects. We even created the first teleworking program because at that time, the smog in Atlanta was so bad that the state of Georgia Department of Transportation was literally giving out little gifts and incentives to any corporations or government entities who were sending their employees home to telework to get them off the street so that they didn't create more smog, more emissions in the air in Atlanta. From there, I actually went into the IT department at the City of Atlanta and worked there for 11 years as an end user support manager, managing over, oh my gosh, 4,000, now that I think back on it, over 4,000 desktop computers in over 200 buildings. And my team consisted of desktop support technicians and help desk representatives. And we supported every department in the city of Atlanta. But today I want to just let each of you know there are just endless opportunities in IT. As Mr. Melendez said, I am now the Fulton County Commissioner, elected to a district which is the hottest growing district in Fulton County, encompassing downtown Atlanta. And I came to this position by way of the late Commissioner, Fulton County Commissioner Joan P. Garner, who passed away in 2017 from cancer. I was actually her chief of staff for 6 years, the entire 6 years that she was elected. And I came to be her chief of staff because we were neighbors. We lived one block from each other. When she ran for election, she said, I need an IT person on my campaign to actually create my website, get me on social media, connect me with the community, do a newsletter for me. So of course I said, well, that'll be fun. It's IT related, but I never knew that it would lead me to actually work for an elected official. That was nothing that I had ever thought I would do, but it did. And like Glenn said, now that I'm elected, I actually use my information technology skills and background to assist the IT department and to also kind of give my colleagues information about technology to help them understand what they're voting on when Glenn brings his contracts across for us to vote. And there's so many great things that the IT department is doing under the management and direction of Mr. Melendez. He's a great resource to all of you. So I want to thank Georgia State University, Atlanta Technical College, Kennesaw State University for partnering with Fulton County. And thanks to all the vendors and third-party participants who contribute to the success of this program as well. With each of you, this program would not be possible if we didn't have you. And thank you, Glenn, for inviting me to be part of this amazing event. And lastly, I want to sincerely congratulate each one of you on completing your capstone. I won't start calling any names because when I ask for the names, it's a whole page of names and I don't want to mess anyone's name up. So I just want to congratulate each and every one of you on successfully completing your capstone. And I look forward to hearing about what the future holds for each of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair. I'm very lucky to have Vice Chair talk to us today. Like I said, she has a very incredible career, a unique career, and a unique perspective that she can share with us. So thank you so much. As we go through the day today, we'll be going through and kind of listening to each of your projects. Each of you are bringing unique value in the projects that you're presenting today. I can't wait to hear them. I'm going to toss it back over to Justina Grinhold, who will walk us through our program for today. Thank you, Vice Chair, so much.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you.
think that Ellis Kirby has joined and he would like to say a few words. Ellis? Are you with us?
Is Ellis Kirby on the line?
Maybe he dropped off.
Yeah, I don't see him. Why don't we go ahead?
In that case, we're going to toss it to a professor from Atlanta Technical College and Georgia State. Dean Leach, do you want to start? I see you're ready.
Okay, no problem. Yes, Dean Leach from Atlanta Technical College. On behalf of our president, Dr. Victoria Seals, actually, I would just like to thank Fulton County IT Center of Excellence for allowing Atlanta Tech to actually participate this year. I know that the students did really well, and Dr. Peter Agendu and Ms. Maxine Williamson, who's been so helpful with helping getting this set up. I just want to thank them. Specifically, I want to thank everyone for working on the Capstone project, but specifically, I have to make sure I acknowledge my students from Atlanta Technical College, Miss Ebony Cannonier, I hope I didn't butcher her name, we joke about that all the time, and Phyllis Fletcher. I just want to thank them for completing the project. In addition, Justina and Dirk and Terrence for providing guidance to not just the ATC students, but to all the students. So thank you very much for allowing us to participate this year. I know everyone did well. I'm looking forward to hearing everyone's presentations, and I will pass it back to you, Justina, but thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dean Leach. Dr. Agendu, do you want to say a few words? If not, we're going to move to Georgia State, Professor Martin and Dr. Hong.
All right. I want to first thank the executive teams of Fulton County for the long-term commitment for sponsored programs for our students. And I'm also very happy to see our colleagues from other educational institutes to join us, and I think that's offer a great learning opportunity for our students, right? The peer learning is a very valuable experience. They can see others, how students from other schools and then compare and can learn from each other. So that's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for our students. I'm very fortunate to be part of the program at the very beginning. Thanks, appreciate everything Fulton County has done for our students. My career path is very not like what Glenn said. I think I had a talk with share with the Professor Martin. I wished when I was in the school, we have such a great program can help me learn. I make tons of mistakes. Actually, when get the job. So I wish I could have this learning experience. So with that, I want to say again, thanks for all sponsors, your time to mentor our students, to help them to grow and transfer them from students to a profession. That's a very valuable learning experience for them. Thank you. Professor Martin, you want to add?
Yeah, just real quickly. Again, I reiterate what Dr. Hung had said. I really appreciate what Fulton County is doing and has done, and created some extremely proficient and valuable IT resources for the Atlanta area and actually all over. They've done a great job. Justina, for those of you that this is your first experience, I got to tell you, you couldn't be in a better spot. Justina, I know she may crack the whip on you sometimes and may hold your feet to the fire, but as Dr. Hung said, this is your introduction into real life working, and you couldn't be in a better spot than to have this transition happening with Fulton County. So I appreciate it, and also it's encouraging, and I really like seeing the other students from other places, other colleges around it being engaged as well. This mixing of cultures and organizations is what happens in the real life, and it's important that you experience some of that now. So again, thank you very much for the Fulton County and to the students for coming in, and I'm sure you're going to wow us with wonderful stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing that, but thank you all.
Justina?
Yes.
I wanted to just echo Professor Martin's and Dr. Hung's, everybody's feedback. This program would not be what it is without Justina's dedication, work, and commitment And I very much thank you for leading this effort for us. Again, I agree. The students could not be, you guys can't be in better hands. Justina dedicates her time and her career to ensuring that we are all successful. So I want to also thank you very much, Justina, for all that you do for the program.
Thank you so much, Glenn. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate you. And now I'm going to pass it to Leo, our team lead. And on behalf of all the students, Leo, I'm going to say a few remarks.
Absolutely. Thank you, Justina. I just wanted to say to everyone, thank you, Fulton County, for the opportunity for helping us students work in a professional environment. This has been a lot of the students' first time working in the field of IT, and this project has been absolutely phenomenal. The way it's been executed through all the learning objectives that we've done, all the team buildings, everything has really come together and I think has built us a lot better. I'd also like to thank all the students and the sponsors and the professors for making this internship as smoothly as possible that can be. It was a great time talking with everybody and connecting all the pieces to the puzzle. And with the help of everybody, it made it very, very easy and smooth to transition into the phases that we've needed. I'd just like to add a little personal note. This internship has really added a lot of, we talked about this at the beginning, but it was going to add a lot of soft skills, most definitely added soft skills. I think that has been one of the biggest things since we are talking with, big name people in these companies, as well as even with the presenters that we've had during the team building. These are a lot of really high up people, and to see all the support from everybody, like who wants to help you build your career, has been absolutely phenomenal. I've gotten so many LinkedIns from many different people, and I can just remember the first time that I did a presentation, I was shaking. I mean, every part of my bone was shaking, but now we're here. And I even see Glenn and the VP in here, and I'm totally okay. I'm happy to talk to you guys, and it was an absolute great experience. For everyone else, good luck to everybody. Good luck graduating. Good luck in the future. Work hard. I can't wait to see what we can create. And I know it's going to be absolutely special. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Leo. Glenn, do you want to add anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to move to housekeeping.
I'm sorry, Justina. No, very good. We can go ahead and move on.
Thank you so much. If my team can help me to demote students to the attendees, I would appreciate it. My team, please raise your hand. Data analytics and web content. You staying on the call. And please keep executive team on. That's your last chance. Take a deep breath, stretch. We have a long ride. Loda, can you see if you can share your screen?
I need host permission.
Okay.
Can
Anybody else from my team needs the host permission?
I
will need host permission as well.
can I also get host permission
Absolutely.
on the work computer?
Mm-hmm. Please raise your hand. Ali, do you need assistance too?
Yes.
Okay. So as my team is moving students to attendees, I'm going to introduce my team. I had the honor to work with two teams, data analytics and web content. And my team work on KPIs of Center of Excellence, and they did fabulous job. You guys are going to be able to see it, what they have accomplished. And they were able to learn Tableau, even though they had this on the resume, but now they really know Tableau. Correct, Lotta?
Absolutely.
Yes. So we have Lotta Agule and Bao Li on the call, and they will be presenting. I'm so proud of you. Good luck.
All right, thank you. I'll go ahead and start. Good morning. My name is Lota Gulue, and I'm joined by my teammate Bao Li, and we are the Analytics, Statistics, Visualization, and Database and Capstone team. The purpose of this project was to demonstrate the data collection and visualization that show the growth and value of the Center of Excellence program. We measured that with 3 KPIs: impact, efficiency, and service. And we worked with the web content team to come up with the metrics within them. This project methodology gives a higher overview of the project and each step we took in our process. Firstly, we had to understand what the data was, where it came from, and what it was being used for. I would like to note there was already a database created and provided by past projects that was given to us. In data cleanup, allow me to show you what the original database looks like. As you can see, there was a lot of missing data that needed to be collected. And from this, we divided it into 3 databases: jobs, sponsored projects, and students. We had 4 points of contact methodology. We emailed surveys, we followed that up with phone calls, and we searched LinkedIn and Glassdoor, and we talked to sponsors and sponsor interviews. First, we did surveys through Qualtrics. We had surveyed a total of 140 people and had 38 valid responses, giving that a 27% response rate. And according to Focus Blog, a typical response rate can be anywhere from 5 to 30%, 5% being weak with no personal interaction, and 30% being solid with a moderate amount of personal connection. These surveys were completely optional to do. And then we had follow-up phone calls with all 140 past students for further survey responses. We also utilized the Fulton County COE LinkedIn page that helps Capstone students network with each other and reach out to alumni. And we use Glassdoor to determine their job sectors and salary, using their salary per hour, multiplying that by 48 weeks and 40 hours to get the annual salary and getting the average from a range of annual salaries. And then we had informational interviews with each Capstone sponsor in the past projects to better understand the impact of each project, the project status, and the funding they saved. Now I'll pass it on to my teammate Bao to show you the data visualizations.
Thank you very much, Loda. Now I'll be sharing our dashboards. With all the information that we have collected, we have decided to use Tableau in order to better visualize the information. And thanks to the Tableau server upgrade team, we have successfully upload this dashboard to the Fulton County Tableau server. Our first dashboard is the general dashboard, where you can find general information about the student's demographic, such as the ethnicity, the age group, the male to female distribution, and where the what school the students are coming from, with Georgia State University being the highest at 133. Up next is our project dashboard. This dashboard is comprises of all the projects that have been worked on in the Capstone program. We have also added in the sponsors that are in charge of those projects, the year, the semester, and the name of the students who have worked on them. Our first KPI dashboard is the impact KPI dashboard. The metrics that I have used to measure impact is the unemployment time, the salary, and the companies that these students are working at. And we have found that on average, Capstone student takes around 3 months to get a job, and on average making around $58,800. And going down, we have compiled a list of all the companies that the students are working at, with orange representing the lease amount and blue representing the most, with Fulton County being at the top with hiring 6 students. You can also filter it out by whether or not these companies are in the Fortune 500 or not. And when you hover over them, you can see where they are ranking. They're ranking on the top 500 of the Fortune list. At the bottom of the page, on the left side, we have made a Gartner chart comparing all the job sectors that the students have run into. For example, the manufacturing job sector sees an increase in 26% in salary, but there's a 67% increase in the amount of time that it took to get the job. And on the right side, we have made a bubble chart showing which the different sectors that students went into, with professional, scientific, and technical services being the most popular at 65.48%. Up next is our project efficiency dashboard. We have divided the project statuses into 4 phases: recommendation, development, testing, and executed, with most of the project belonging to the executed phase. Also, after the year 2020, projects that have been worked on by Capstone students, we have clickable infographic links that will take you to their infographic page, where you can get a high overview of what they did for their project and the overall scope of their projects. Following that is our funding efficiency page, where we take a look at how much money the projects have saved Fulton County. Of course, all these numbers are subjective, and it's completely based on the sponsor's opinion on how much it has saved them and Fulton County in general when they have Capstone students work on them instead of outsourcing to professional services. With the most money saved belonging to the vulnerability management team, where they have saved over $1 million. And just in 2020 alone, all these projects together have saved Fulton County over $2 million. Up next is our time efficiency dashboard. Capstone students are expected to spend around 10 hours a week on their projects, and interns are expected to spend around 24 hours on their project. Using those numbers multiplied by the amount of week that they spend in the program, we can see how much time it has saved Fulton County and how efficient these projects are. Finally, is our service dashboard. The metrics that we've used to measure service is the growth of students, the growth of number of projects, the growth of the amount of schools participating in the program, and also the international reach of the Capstone program, where the international students are coming from, with China being the highest at 5. And despite COVID playing a factor, we have seen an over 300% increase in the amount of students participating in the program from 2018 to 2020. And now we talk about the lessons that we have learned during our time in the program. First, if you have Justina as your sponsor, she will drill this into your head during the first couple of weeks, but you need to be able to take the initiative. If you think you need to do something for your project to be successful, go ahead and do it. Do not wait for her to come and drill you. Up next, secondly, do not be afraid to ask for help. Loda and I had asked a lot of people for help for our projects, and we have been able to make countless valuable connections that we otherwise would not have if we did not ask for help. Third, communication is key. Effective communication between you and your teammate, between your team and the sponsor, and also your team and the other team and the program will definitely help you complete your project a lot easier. And lastly, ask a lot of questions. There are no stupid questions, so if you're unsure about something, go ahead and ask them. You will get back a very insightful answer. And finally, we want to give special acknowledgement to, of course, Justina for allowing us to work on this project, but also to Kirby Liu, Jessica Allen, and Michael Lang for mentoring us and walk us through our journey in Fulton County. And also to Azar Khani for giving us feedbacks on what makes a good dashboard, and to all these sponsors that take time out of their busy schedule and allowing us to interview them. Thank you very much. And with that, it will conclude the presentation for the analytics, statistics, visualization, and databasing team.
Thank you so much, Bao. We're going to open for questions. So if you have a question for the team, please raise your hand. Or you can also post a question in the chat or in the QA. Jeffrey?
Hi guys, Thanks for your presentation. I wanted to ask, when you guys were making your dashboards, what was the most surprising finding you guys discovered?
I'll go first. Definitely when we work with Michael, he's a Tableau wizard, helped show us that you could like do formulas on Tableau that we didn't even know that was possible. We just thought that Tableau is a visualization tool. We didn't know you can like do all this math on it. So that was definitely surprising.
Definitely using Tableau with Michael was it was a discovery moment, seeing all the things you could do with it.
All right, thanks guys.
Okay.
Can I add to that? Loda, how do you feel having Tableau on your resume as a skill now comparing to 4 months ago?
I feel I feel a lot better, a lot more confident in interviews to say that I've worked with Tableau extensively and have experience.
Thank you. Next question. Michael?
Hey, so I really appreciate working with these guys. They're a great group. And I just wanted to say congrats to them and all the hard work they did. You guys put in a lot of hard work, and those dashboards are pretty amazing. My only question is, when are you guys planning to do your certification test? Because I think you guys are ready.
We'll definitely take a look into it. Thank you.
Good. I think you guys are ready for the official certification.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Michael, for that feedback. Appreciate you. Next question. And the last question.
Yeah.
Jessica?
We have a question from Kevin. I'm going to unmute him.
Oh, sorry. I had my hand up raised. Sorry.
Oh, wait. And we have one more from the chat. Gilberto asks, what was the most difficult part when working with Tableau?
I would say whenever we would put together our database and transfer that to Tableau, sometimes, it would act funny and we had to go back and, change stuff in the database and it wouldn't connect. It was trying to figure out that stuff and troubleshooting that stuff what made it like the hardest part. And then when we finally figured it out, we're like, yeah, we did it.
Yeah, to add on to that, Tableau take two different type of data, live data and extract data. We had a tough time figuring out how to like connect all that data together. That was definitely very tough.
Thank you. Great job. I'm so proud of you guys. You guys did an awesome job.
Thank you.
Since we cannot clap and we are doing everything virtually, if you want to make a comment, I'll put 111 as appreciation in the chat for the team. Please do so. And we're going to move to the next team. You're getting lots of VC on it, that appreciation. Lots of 111. Wonderful. Let's move to the next team. I have an honor to welcome data content team, Ali Mohammed and Kevin Han. And this team did an amazing job with the assistance of Chris Phillips that helped them tremendously. And actually now we are official. We have a website for Center of Excellence. Not only they have learned soft skills, they also have learned a Sitecore platform. Thank you so much. And Ali and Kevin.
Let me share one.
And I just also want to mention that this team works cohesively with data team. They actually work as one unit.
All right, are we ready to start? Awesome. So, hello everyone. My name is Ali Mohammed. I have my partner with me, Kevin Han, and we are here for website and content and development team. And like Justina mentioned, we worked hand in hand with the data analytics team. A little bit about our project. Our project was to create an innovative and a modern website that would showcase the Center of Excellence mission and the value of the COE that would be brought on to our stakeholders, whether it's the students or the clients or even the professors. We used a tool called Sitecore to understand how we can make our website and our home pages. And within our website, we created subpages. And just to give you guys a little bit of a background of what the COE is all about, we created a small video. Let's watch it.
In school, students are learning how their fields of studies can help change the work environment, but they lack the real-world experience. Welcome to Capstone program, where students will learn and gain experience of how the real world operates. Students will work on a project by collaborating with their team members and their clients to resolve a real-world problem. Students will use their skills to work on a solution, implement their ideas, and give deliverables to their clients every week. Students will present their ideas and strategies to resolve the business problem and make their clients happy. During the job interview, the students can use the real-world experience and the new skills they acquired through the Capstone program to give themselves an advantage and stand out from the other candidates and successfully land a job.
Awesome. So now that you guys know a little bit about what Capstone is about,
in school.
Now I'm going to give you guys a brief overview of what was going on throughout the whole semester. So right from the beginning, we sat with our clients. We got to understand the project scope and what we needed to do with the project. Then we moved on into data gathering, data modification, as well as content modification, because we already were given a lot of content, but we needed to modify that content. Then we moved into our development phase by using Sitecore, and of course, with Chris's help, we were able to work on Sitecore and input our data into the website. We worked hand in hand with the data analytics team to get the insights from the data that they collected and also embed it into our website. And finally, we're here to launch our website. Now moving on to Kevin, who will talk a little bit about Sitecore.
Thank you, Ollie. We use Sitecore, a content management system or a CMS used by Fulton County, which helps users develop websites. Sitecore offers many innovative content management, e-commerce, and analytics tools for web pages. And some of the components that we utilize on Sitecore are the call to action cards or CTA cards, link list, and FAQ containers. And jumping into our homepage, this is the updated homepage of the brand new Center of Excellence webpage. Right in the beginning, you'll see a hero image with former, past, current, and interns and Capstone students, as well as project sponsors, as well as other Capstone students doing their presentations as well. And down below, we also have a little brief summary of what the Fulton County Center of Excellence program is all about. And moving down, if you scroll down, you will see a CTA card or call to action cards. These cards will show you which web pages you have on the website. And when you hover over the actual card, it will bring up a brief little background picture pertaining to each web page. And when you click on the actual card, it will take you to the embedded web page on our website. Moving on, we also have our awards and recognitions that the Center of Excellence has been recognized for. We have put the information into FAQ containers because FAQ containers really help organization and make it aesthetically pleasing to look at. And when you click on the actual plus arrow on the right-hand side, it will actually drop down a box that will show you the information provided, as well as it gives us the capability of hyperlinking to other websites on our webpage. And for the Inside COE, I'm going to pass it back to Ali.
Thank you, Kevin. So for our Inside COE page, we wanted to keep the consistency going and keep the flow the same throughout the many pages that we created. And as you can see up here, we have our hero image, and then at the bottom over here, we have our brief summary of what this Inside COE is all about. And within inside COE, we have 3 attributes. One of them is the holistic approach, the diversity and inclusion, as well as the center of excellence, growth at glance. When we talk about the holistic approach, we want our sponsors as well as our stakeholders to know that with this program, there's many things that the students will be coming out of. So many students will be bringing in many skills that they already have, but they will also improve on their skills, and they will also improve on their soft skills as well as their technical skills, and they will be able to bring in and build the meaningful connections from this program. Moving on to our diversity and inclusion. With this program, I was really surprised and shocked to see that there were people that we had within the project that we worked on. There were many people around the world coming with many different backgrounds, and with the work of the data analytics team, we were able to get a map and see the insight that, hey, there are many different people coming together and working on a project and bringing that value to the Capstone program as well as the intern program. Now, talking about the growth at glance, the Capstone program and the internship program, they have both grown a lot from 2018 to 2021. We started with 18 students and 3 schools, and we have built up to it. Now, talking a little bit about the internship page, we wanted to keep the same consistency, so we went with the hero image. We have our small summary as well on the internship page, as well as FAQ containers over here, because we had frequently asked questions a lot for the internship page than the other pages. So we have more FAQ containers here. Now, moving on to the Capstone page, where Kevin will talk a little bit about.
Thank you, Ali. And for our Capstone page, like many of our other pages, we have our hero image at the top and a brief introduction to the Capstone page as well as we also do have FAQ containers, as well as a contact form for anyone who wants to get in touch with our program. And with here, we actually have FAQ container for helpful info like our Capstone program growth at a glance. And as Justina told us earlier, we have been working hand in hand with the data analytics team to help visualize this growth. And with the help of them, we got this really nice chart showing the growth from 2018 all the way to 2021. And with the help of FAQ containers, we were able to embed it in there and show the users how much this program has grown. And for our frequently asked questions like the internship page, we do have FAQ containers. And when you click on the plus, it will actually show the answers to those questions on our page. And for this, we have our contact form for our pages that is going to be on the home page, our blog page, our internship page, as well as our Capstone page. And all the users have to do will input their information. It will be sent to an email address that is pertaining for your information. And moving on to our blog page, we also have our student experience with our hero image and a brief introduction to our blog page. We also do have a get in touch form where any current, former, or past interns would like to share their experience. There's a contact card on the left that says get in touch, and it has all the helpful information that you will need to get in touch and share your experience about this program. And moving on down below, we also have our new news promo grid. A news promo grid will help you preview what our articles are about and also any stories that students have. And when you click over the read more, it'll actually take you to another website where all of our articles are being published. And we want to give a special thank you to Justina, Kirby, Christopher, Marcel, and Priscilla. Priscilla unfortunately couldn't provide a picture, but we still love her very much because of all of her helpful information that she's provided for us and all of her feedback, as well as a special shout out to Christopher Phillips for devoting a lot of his time and helping us develop our skills on Sitecore. There's many late nights that he's devoted to us, and we can't be more thankful for him.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris, and to everyone. I do want to say, I do want to thank Chris, especially because I know there's been many weekends that we worked on Sitecore together, Saturdays, Sundays at 12 a.m. So it's been all over the place, but thank you so much for giving us the time and the ability to work together. Thank you.
And for our lessons learned, we really thought that communication was very important because we have a lot of brand new ideas for a brand new website. So communicating effectively with each other so everyone is on the same page is very important, because we don't want anyone that's thinking about different stuff and then not communicating it with the team. So whenever we do updates or new changes, we'll all be on the same page, knowing that this change is going to happen and we're all okay with it. Also, never be afraid to fail, because with brand new ideas, it's going to be a lot of failures and a lot of supervisors telling us like this idea won't work. And Justina has also told us there's never any failures, there's only lessons learned, and it will really help you grow and develop your skills as well. And also to always ask questions, like Bao said in his presentations, there's no stupid questions. And it's always helpful to ask those questions to be on the same page and know where everyone is in the process.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you, Kevin, on that, because us working with the data analytics team, we always had to ask each other many questions, and there were a lot of meetings that were happening between both of our teams, and we couldn't be afraid to try something, or we wanted to be able to bring out good ideas by working together and collaborating with each other, and that just came from asking good questions, not being afraid, and just communicating good with each other.
And for here, with special help with Chris, we'll give you a live look at the brand new Center of Excellence webpage.
Okay, let me share real quick. And then I will give control to Kevin. All right, you should be all good, Kevin.
Thank you, Chris. As I said earlier, with our brand new webpage, we do have our hero image with past, former, and current interns, as well as Capstone students doing their project in the image, and it'll create a really nice welcome message to the Center of Excellence and what it's really about. And scrolling down, like I said, we have our brief introduction, and as well as the CTA cards. And like I said in our project, that whenever you hover over it, you actually get the background image of each page. And then when you actually click on the page, it will take you to the internship page or the capstone page like we're doing here. And as you can see in the capstone page, we have our hero image, our here, and the bio of the Center of Excellence program, as well as our helpful information with the embedded charts from the data analytics team down below, as well as our frequently asked questions updated. And when you click on it, you actually get our answers for what is the difference between the capstone and the internship program. And then moving on to our blog page with our news promo. You have our student experience with our hero image. And when you scroll down to the news promo, you have the updated image as to where the news promo is and what it's all about. And we also have videos of our program and where it started as well. And this, if you click on the video, it'll actually play, because we embedded a link for YouTube, and it'll actually play right there for you as well. And then when you hit the read more, like I said before, it will actually take you to the page where we have our article about the Fulton County NACO awards that we have received. And then that will conclude our live demo of the brand new Center of Excellence website. Thank you, guys.
That was wonderful. You guys make me proud, as always.
No, thank you so much.
Do we have anyone from the external affairs on the call? If not, we're going to open for questions. Please raise your hand if you have a question for the team.
I have several questions in the chat. The first one from Dr. Han, he said, great job. Has the website been officially launched? If so, could you share the URL?
Yeah, I could take this. We are currently in the process of getting it launched right now. We're getting our final touches, and when it's launched, we will definitely share you the URL because we are very proud of the hard work this whole team has done for the website.
Then the next question we have from Hoang. He says, have you ever worked with Sitecore before? How long for the team spent to get used to the Sitecore tool?
I guess I can take that one. No, I personally never used Sitecore, and I don't think Kevin did either. In the beginning, it was really tough to just understand how we could use Sitecore because there's a lot of branches that you have to go through within Sitecore, and we had an amazing guy. Chris definitely helped us a lot throughout the whole time we were working with Sitecore. So because of his experience and because of his knowledge, he was able to help us and guide us how we could embed all of the pictures or the videos as well as the content. So it was very interesting and something new that we discovered and we learned.
Yeah, like Ollie said, I have actually never had experience using Sitecore, and Chris has been like an angel to us because he's devoted a lot of his time to like help us develop our website, develop our skills on Sitecore, and like we mentioned before, it was a lot of long nights that he's stayed up with us on Zoom, teaching us how to use Sitecore and what stuff we could use for Sitecore.
Thanks. For our next question from Andrew, he says, were there any challenges with having to collaborate with the analytics, statistics, visualization, and database team?
Yeah, I could take it. Yeah, there was a lot of difficult challenges because they had their own stuff they needed to work on, their time schedule. So we had to really focus and really communicate well with them to set up meetings. And also they have a lot of data, like in their 3 databases they show there, it's a lot of data to go through. So whenever we needed charts or any data visualizations, we need to be very precise as to what we need because they could do anything they wanted with the Tableau dashboards they have, but we needed the right things. And it was really nice working with that team because they did an amazing job with their dashboards.
Yeah, I think, just working together nicely, collaborating with each other, like Kevin mentioned, having the right details to ask the right questions. We were able to get all the charts that we needed. Plus, I remember from the beginning, some of the data that they were showing us in the beginning in the Excel sheets, it was crazy. And I don't even know how they cleaned up all of that data, but y'all did amazing. Props to you.
Thank you.
We have 2 more questions. They're pretty similar, so I'm
We
going
only
to
allow 1 more question, Jessica.
Okay, great. Well, the questions are similar, so it's pretty much the same. Both from Anna Shaharia. They wanted to know, did you already have any experience with creating websites? And if not, how did you cope with that in a short time?
I actually never had experience creating websites, but like Justina said to us, it's a lot of research that we had to do and a lot of asking questions, like we said before. Because like, if you don't really know what you're doing and you're going in and you have a short timeline, it's really, really pivotal to like research what you're doing and get caught to speed. And we had great mentors helping us along the way and never really giving up on us. Like they were there every step of the way.
I had a small experience, very tiny experience with working on websites, but nothing like Sitecore. Sitecore was just a totally different ball game, right? I never thought that we could do this much work within this platform, and props to Chris again because he was the one guiding us all the way. So, yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of teamwork.
Thank you. And that's the time when you said 111 in the chat. Oh, great job. Fabulous job, guys. So proud of you.
Thank you.
On that note, we're gonna promote next team to join the call with the sponsors, AML Phase 3. So Chris and Jessica, if you guys can help me on that. If AML team, can you guys please raise your hand? And sponsors as well.
No, I do know people are saying everyone doesn't have to raise their hand.
Really?
They put it in the chat. You have to remove the
I am already did. Mhm. Wonderful. Sherry, are you ready?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. And so I would like to introduce the interns. We have Joe and Saram, and then our my co-sponsors for AML is Ann Wilson and Nadine Outlaw. And I would like to start off by saying I thank each and every single one of you for doing such a great job. This has been, of course, it's been a difficult period of life in general, but I appreciate the fact that each one of you have been able to, regardless of the challenges, persevere. And so I thank you, Joe and Saran, for your efforts and all of your hard work. And so when
I think Sherry has a difficult time with her internet. Anne, would you like to pitch in? Anne, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened to Sherry. But anyway, yes, we'd very much like to thank you for your hard work. I mean, this is, as we know, this is our third phase of this project. It has been ongoing for a while because it entails quite a bit, and the team has stepped up and bringing us closer and closer to our goals. So I'm very pleased with what they've done and very grateful to having them on this team. So thank you so very much.
Wonderful. Ladies, are you ready?
Yeah, sure. Am I sharing my screen?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. All right. Oops. Okay. All right, so welcome everyone to the AML Process Phase 3 presentation. It's with great honor that I introduce our team. Our team consists of Simran, who is myself, and Huang, who also goes by Joe. We had the opportunity to work with some amazing clients, including Sherry and Nadine and our sponsor, Justina. So before we go into the specifics of the AML project, we just want to describe what it is and what it's designed to do. So AML stands for the Annual Hardware and Software Maintenance and Support List, and it's designed to database, track, and maintain numerous Fulton County health contracts. And as we all know, contracts are an integral part of any organization, so this project was very important to us. So the result that we were trying to accomplish was creating a centralized database with all of the updated contract information, which would then feed into providing automated alerts. So a little bit of what our project scope entailed was first, identifying any inefficiencies in the AML process and innovating a tracking process for each contract. We also were responsible for updating the AML metadata and making sure everything is up to date amongst different platforms. We then integrated all of this information into one centralized database, which would be the base for Fulton County moving forward. So our project timeline in February, we primarily focused on identifying AML contracts and understanding what AML is and identifying the project scope. In March, much of our focus was centered upon the key deliverables, which we will discuss in a little bit. And in April, our goal was the core objectives, and that was centralized database as well as the alert automation, which we are currently also working on. So here's what our process looks like. So first, at the very beginning, once we had all the user requirements that we gathered, we then created a project tracker. And this project tracker was based inside of Excel, and it was an ongoing process throughout the whole semester as we were updating the contract progress and adding a couple new features as we saw it would be helpful. We also simultaneously were updating the AML application metadata. And a little bit of a background on what the AML application is it's a web-based application that was designed by the earlier phase 1 and phase 2 team. And so we were updating this information, deploying it into another database, and then integrating all of this contract information into one centralized database. And the goal for this whole project is to have a basis on which Fulton County can integrate into an online system, which would automate a lot of the contract renewals and make this process a lot more efficient. So I just want to go ahead and put this project goal into a little bit of perspective. So before the creation of the AML projects, there was a need for a more proactive approach. So for example, let's say we have Terrence right here. Terrence was sad because his contracts were expiring and he didn't have enough resources to keep up with the contract renewal process. And it's very challenging when a software goes down because you're not updating to the most updated version, or you're paying for a new one, but you're still using the old version. And so the goal of the AML project is to turn that reactive approach into a more proactive approach, where Terrence now is able to consult with the vendors and go through the whole contract renewal life cycle prior to the contract even being close to expiration. So this was a very important part of our project, and this is the overall project goal. And now I will transition it on to Joe to discuss our accomplishments and a lot more interesting stuff.
Okay, thank you, Shimran. Coming to the end, these are accomplishments that we got. First is the Excel tracking system, where the flow of the renewal and maintenance are being followed up for 2021 IT contract, supplemented with overall automated visualizations. Second, gonna be a well-organized and updated AML application information technology contract metadata. Last but not least is a centralized and finalized AML spreadsheet database is waiting to be uploaded online for triggering the automated alert to vendor and stakeholder before the expiration days. Next slide, please. So after 3 months work together, these are lessons learned. Primarily, our communication skill is improved virtually since Zoom, Webex, and Microsoft Teams are platforms that we are mostly working with. The next lesson is going to be like Microsoft Excel Visual Basic for application coding while creating the visualization for the contract, as well as understanding the life cycle of renewal and maintenance AML contracts. Finally, because we are a team, so we would study and adjust ourselves to work as a team, and collaboration with each other is not an easy task, but it's full of challenges and fun, and we enjoy it a lot. I want to introduce our infographics. It summarizes our project core objective that we keep repeat on and on throughout the speed, so you audience must be familiar with it. To conclude, Shimran and I, we want to say thank you to our client and Sherry, Nadine, and Justina for support the team along the way, as well as Professor Martin and Dr. Hong for your feedback on our projects. In addition, I want to say thank you to Jason and Matthew because they're gonna assist us next week on how to upload the database, the AML database online and setting up the automated alert. Thank you for listening.
Great job, ladies.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Great
Shimran?
job.
May I add something, Justina?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Please put the light on them.
I am so excited and I feel so giddy about the work that these ladies have done for us. Now they summarized this work, what they've done, but I'm telling you, it was constantly changing. Gears were shifting and moving, and they were, going with the flow with, oh no, I want this. Next week was like, well, no, maybe not. But at each and every turn, they stepped up and did what was required to get the job done. So ladies, great job. I appreciate you. I'm like Justina said, I am so proud of you. It was wonderful working with you. Great job. And also a lot of those contracts that they were loading and unloading were difficult to find. They had to do research. I could go on, but great job, ladies. Thank you so much. It was great.
Thank you, Anne. It is an honor to work with you. Also.
Yes, and I sort of dropped off, but I wanted to say thank you for all your hard work.
Same here. Thank you. And thank you for constantly reminding us, because they would need information from us. And sometimes I would forget. So they were very diligent in following up with us to get the answers that they needed, to get the information that they needed. So I appreciated that.
Absolutely. They were on the top of their game.
Yes.
Yes. They made sure the job got done. And patient, very professional and patient with us.
Yes. Excellent soft skills. Thank
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think I dropped off at the end, but I really want to say thank you all so much. This was such a learning curve, and I really appreciate working with all of you. So thank you so much. And also Justina for pushing us to ask questions, because I was like, I don't want to ask so many questions, but it's the best thing ever. So thank you all so much.
It works.
It works. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because I knew you can do it.
Yes, they did it well too.
You guys have so much potential in yourself.
Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Let's open for questions.
Yes. So Kevin has a question, and he asks, what was the hardest part in this whole process for you guys?
Oh, I would love to take that. So I think we had a lot of disparity among contract information, and so integrating all of this contract information into one database and making sure all of this information is accurate was very challenging. But I think it was very important to us too. Joe, do you want to add anything to that?
I think one more thing is the visualizations. Yeah, because we had to do it manually, insert the checkbox and the drop-down box and try to create a formula so that it's gonna work for everybody. Because after we leave, the file gonna the lion gonna be the one who work with the file mostly. So we want to make sure even if we leave, the next phase or the next group gonna be able to keep working on that, upgrade that to better version or something like that. So yeah, we try to yeah.
Do we have another question?
We do not have another question at the moment.
I see another question in the chat from Ali. What did you use for the automation?
Yeah, so a lot of our automation, we actually had data tables inside of Excel, and we had a couple of if statements. So if you do change something, that would automatically update, and the visualizations would automatically update as well.
Ladies, you may also mention monday.com.
Okay. Yeah, and for the ultimate alert for the vendor and the stakeholder, this week, like Matthew will introduce us to monday.com, and he's like expert on that, and we're still learning. But this next week we're gonna start upload everything on monday.com, and we think we're gonna walk through on the way with monday.com.
So a lot of this is going to be automated moving forward. So this is a little bit of a temporary solution as we are transitioning and everyone's familiar with the other online platform.
Absolutely. Data cleanup, data understanding, and data preparation. Any other questions for the team? If not, that's the moment when you can appreciate your team in the chat. Beautiful.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. I'm so proud of you. It wasn't that hard.
Everything helps.
Wonderful. Next team, it's also Sherry's team. So we're gonna keep our sponsors on the call and promote next team. Shaila and Ranish, I just make you a co-host. Sherry, are you ready?
Yes. Yes. I would like to say good afternoon and thank you, Shayla and Ranish, for all of your hard work on this project. The co-sponsors were Ann Wilson and Nadine Outlaw. And I believe Donald was.
Donald, I actually, yes, I would like to mention his name, yes. And I keep looking for him, but I don't see him.
Donald Sakir, he was very helpful in
yes.
This
Had
project.
A great
because
part
this project
in this
really,
program,
for the
yes.
most part, we started down the road on invoicing and signing in one scope, in which it sort of like changed in the middle, that we went to DocuSign and Adobe electronic signature stuff. And so thank you, Shayla and Ranish, for all of your hard work. Thank you
so much. Is it over? Share my screen?
Absolutely, you have the permission.
I'll start. Hello, everyone. We are Requisition and Invoices team, and we are here to present our progress of the project. Let me introduce me and my other team member. My name is Ranish, and other team member is Shayla. And our sponsors are Justina Greenhalgh, Ann Wilson, and Donald Secretio, and Sherry McNair. Our agenda for today is we're gonna talk about project scope, user requirements, project challenges, solutions, recommendation, and deliverables that we did throughout the semester. Our scope for the project was to integrate one of the e-signature platform, either DocuSign or Adobe Sign, into the ticketing software called Remedy, to remove the need to print and scan the ID order documents manually from the clients. And other scope of this project is to generate automatic notifications to track invoices and also generate single tickets per request. One of the project user requirements was to allow user to e-sign all documents internally and improperly in order. The procurement team is responsible for all the IT-related equipment such as hardware, software, other IT-related services for the Fulton County government. Like mentioned above, the procurement team have to print, sign, scan all the documents manually, have to do the process. So the users are unable to track the invoices of the orders. Employer of Fulton County uses the Remedy Force ticketing software to initiate the order from all the IT orders. After initiating the process, the procurement team passes the same order form to technical team for an approval process. The current issue that Fulton County was facing is that when procurement team receives the order and print the documents, the document pass the invoicing phase, it creates the second ticket for the same order and becomes very difficult for the procurement team to track invoices and order. So our goal was to provide digital signature solution that can allow users of Fulton County government to sign all the documents internally and digitally. So it can also help them track invoices and send email notification, and it will be very easy for them to flow of document use. One of the challenges that we faced that we didn't have the direct access to Remedy Force ticketing software because it is government confidential platform, so we didn't have the full access to it. We also faced challenges in terms of scheduling meeting with the Remedy Force company because we didn't know much about the cost implementation process. So this process took a lot of time, and these are the challenges that we faced during our project. So after analyzing both e-signature software and DocuSign and Adobe, we proposed that both can be implemented using API, which will allow the users to e-sign all the documents and also allows them to have the current status update and track all the documents in the proper way so that Fulton County will not face any problem in the future. Now I'll pass it to Sheila Alam, my other team member. She will continue with the presentation.
All right, thank you, Ranesh. So as Ranesh has mentioned that Fulton County will be able to implement Adobe or DocuSign into Remedy Force. So to ensure which platform will be best fit for Fulton County, we conducted research on Adobe and DocuSign. And here is a table showing some of the features that are the main important features that Adobe Signs and DocuSign provides. And on one hand, Adobe provides with multiple support systems, especially for its external users. And DocuSign provides with like real-time status monitoring, and it also provides legally binding documents that are built for both individual and global companies. And it's very easy for the integration process for DocuSign. If we could move to the next. All right, so in order for them to implement Adobe or DocuSign into Remedy Force, they need a software called API. So what is an API? API is a software intermediary that allows two applications to connect with one another. So it is the messenger being a messenger between two applications. And here is a example of how a API works. API works. All right, so the API that we recommended Fulton County to use is called Auth. It's called Auth, and one of the reasons we recommended that API is because it's very safe and secure. Users can and view detailed information on the configuration, data configuration without having to share their password each time they want to view some data. And it has very basic work step. It provides with discovery endpoints, which means it provides the users with detailed information on each data that was opened by every single person on those documents. And also the end users need authorization each time they want to view documents. So when they want to view some of the documents, they need to grant permission from the users to provide them with the authorization code, and that authorization code is valid for 24 hours. However, that token can be refreshed after that 24-hour period without having to grant permission from the user itself. And that refresh token is valid for up to 2 weeks if needed. So to compare the features of Adobe and DocuSign, we have created a traceability matrix that shows all features, and this is a screenshot of some of the features that Adobe and DocuSign provides. And we also had the procurement team rating each of the features in terms of how important each feature is to Fulton County itself, and in the rate of 1 to 3. In terms of how important each of these features are to the procurement team. All right, so we recommend Fulton County to implement DocuSign as their e-signing platform. One of the reasons we recommend them to implement DocuSign is because all the features DocuSign provides, it directly correlates with all of their user requirements, that it fulfills all the requirements they need for that team, and as far as tracking each of the invoices, signing all documents, etc. And also during our meeting with vendors, they told us they are able to implement DocuSign into Remedyforce, which was one of the challenges we were facing, that we weren't sure if Remedyforce will be able to integrate DocuSign or Adobe into Remedyforce. And that implementation process will take up to 40 to 80 hours to complete the implementation phase. And also one of the reasons we recommend Fulton County to use DocuSign is because it will also allow the employees to train themselves by using DocuSign University. And we, as the students, we also have used DocuSign University, and which was very helpful. We have learned so many things from DocuSign University itself. And here is our deliverables for the project. It consists of the scope and research we have done for the project, and also the documentation phase and our presentation today. The lesson that we learned from this project is being able to work in a professional work setting, and we as a student, we don't get to do that all the time, and that was the opportunity that was given to us to work in a professional work setting. And I myself, this is my first professional job in terms of working in my field, and also how to communicate effectively when it comes to emailing people. And because I myself have an issue with that, I need to double check all of my emails and make sure I sound professional rather than sounding like I'm messaging a friend or something. And also how to communicate with vendors. Justina pointed out that during our meeting with vendors, I had some difficulties. And thank you, Justina, for that. And also time management is a very important thing, being able to manage yourself on everything. And I would like to especially thank Justina and Anne for being here with us from the beginning to the end and helping us throughout. And also Donald and Justina Gordon for stepping in the middle and help us move forward with the project as we were stuck in the middle. We didn't know what to do. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone. It was a great pleasure working with everyone.
And that concludes our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great job. Yes, we really want to say thank you to Justina, Gordon, and Donald.
Yes,
Absolutely.
they were really helpful with doing a project, the process of project. And they have provided a lot of resources where like home to talk and everyone. So it was really
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Donald is here. Can we
Yes.
promote him
Yes.
quickly?
Yeah, I see that.
We were looking for you. Jessica, Chris, can you guys? Oh, wonderful.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
There he is.
We were looking for you, Donald.
I was on YouTube. Sorry, guys.
I was too. Don't. You're not the only one.
Well, we have more viewers, so thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Donald, do you want to add anything else to?
Yeah, I think both Shaila and Ranesh, they displayed a lot of persistence. The going was good. The going was slow, but once it got going, they were able to catch on pretty quick. And I mentioned it in my YouTube remarks as well. They're so ready for the real world. When they started off, I was not so sure, but I was very impressed. And my standards are pretty high, and I think you both have achieved that standard. Thank you, guys, Ranesh, and ask more questions, be curious, and keep pushing. Patience will always help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Donald.
Thank you, team. You did a wonderful job. It was great working with you. And, even though we came to that point where it seemed like it was at a halt, but again, Donald, thank you for stepping in and helping us to continue to complete this task with these two wonderful people. And those of you who don't know, we also got a special treat outside of our project from Shayla in the kitchen. So thank you both for your efforts and your support to my team. Thank you so much.
Oh, fantastic. And I'm very happy that you've chosen DocuSign. I'm the sysadmin, so I'm kind of a little partial towards DocuSign.
Yeah, he is.
Now we're going to open for questions. I know people have a challenge with the hand. We will figure it out after the break. What is happening?
I'll start with a question, Justina.
Absolutely.
So when Shayla and Renese, when we got to the point where it looked like the project had come to a halt, how did you feel? What was going on in your minds at that time?
I mean, I thought, honestly, I thought I was stuck at somewhere. I know, I didn't think we're gonna come this far, but I thought we're gonna stop working on the project, something we would do it to make it I never thought we're gonna come this far and have the final decision recommendation, having something we can implement for Fulton County. I think, yeah, that's pretty it. I think we were gonna stop. Honestly, I thought we're not gonna continue, but then especially thanks to Donald, everyone who worked on this project, and this became a successful project. I think as a team, we are really proud.
I have a question, and this is more on human dynamics. Ranesh, there's a question for you. You're a lot quieter, and Shaila is not so quiet. How do you manage that? How do you manage to make sure you're heard? I mean, this is something that I always ask people. There are some folks who are quiet. How do they say that their piece as well?
I mean, yeah, I'm really quiet. I would agree with it. But then, I always work with Shayla, and Shayla was always used to help me. Ranesh, you need to speak up. She told me, I'll be honest. She told me, Ranesh, you gotta speak low. You gotta speak more in the class. And I think she really pushed me to show what I can do. I think I'm really thankful Shayla. She helped me throughout the semester. And I think I would also thank you, Donald, because you also pushed me to do a lot of stuff, but I never done it. So it was really good experience.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Great job, Shaila.
Yeah.
That's a good job, Shaila.
Shaila, do you also, absolutely, Shaila, do you also want to mention your journey with the vendor? How to conduct professional meeting and ask questions?
Yes, I was very, very nervous. I didn't know what to do. And I joined the meeting and Justina told me you should have called me or like asked me how to prepare. I was very scared to even ask questions. And I know I talk a lot, but sometimes depending on where I am, I don't. But I'm glad, like I'm overcoming my fears of like asking questions. Now I'm getting more comfortable asking questions, talking to people, connecting with, because I have anxiety issue, top to bottom, like that's very.
But what do we have to have when we come to the meeting?
Agenda. Make sure to have agenda, what you're going to talk about and discuss throughout the whole entire meeting, and make sure you prepare yourself and write down questions and everything. Yes.
And Shaila, I like one thing about you. When you made an honest to goodness mistake on scheduling, you were ready to be accountable, whole responsibility, and that's a good thing. A lot of people, even grown-ups, don't have that. You were accountable, you apologized, and you made the amendments, and that's a good quality to have. So keep that going.
Thank you.
We have a excuse me. We have a question from Kevin. He says, "How did you guys push through the thought of having your project halted?"
I'm sorry, having our project
Halted, like
What
stopped.
having our project. So I personally wanted to continue in the process of implementation. I feel like this is where we get to do a lot of the work. I mean, we have done work throughout the whole entire process, conducted research and what will be best for the team. However, I'm kind of a little bit upset that we had to stop here. We didn't get to implement DocuSign into Remedy Force. The Ranesh wanted to add something else.
You set the stage for the next team.
Yes.
And then we have a question from Ali. He said,
That will be the last question, Chris.
Okay. Ali says, did other API did you analyze other than Oath? I think
Yeah.
it meant what other API?
I'll take that question. I think we found one more API. It's called eSignature REST API, open source. I think it's also one of the helpful API that we can implement when we implement this software into Remedy Force. I think that's one of them we analyzed. But we chose auth because it gives more like secure and everything, more like secure, authorized, and like more useful. So I think we went with auth instead of e-signature.
Thank you, everyone. And that's the time when you can acknowledge the team in the chat.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, team.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy your appreciation. Now we're going to welcome next team, and that's going to be our last team before the lunch. Do we have Judge Cox on the call? And Ms. Womack? Ms. Micah, can you please check with Judge Cox?
Not sure if he'll be present.
He said in the chat that he's here. Judge
Oh,
Cox.
okay. There he goes.
Wonderful. I absolutely love it, your presentation. Outstanding. There you go. Welcome, Judge Cox.
Morning, everyone. Good morning, Justina. Thank you.
Good morning. Mr. Terrence?
Good
You can
morning.
Good morning. You can introduce your team.
Okay, thank you, Justina.
You're
Good morning, everyone. We are the court automation team, version 3. For data science, our approach is always the same. We start with giving the students a set of requirements, and we encourage them to work in some type of process or framework toward that requirement. This is what most times ensures a quality finished product, or at least a respectable outcome. But most of all, we encourage these students to accept the results. And this was basically our charge for these students this semester. But as there are in life, sometimes there are bumps in the road along the way, things they could not have anticipated, other skills they needed that you may not hear in their presentation. We call those outliers in data science. For example, having a basic understanding of the criminal justice system. This was new for these students. And at Fulton County, our processes can be quite complex. Managing and trying to keep the scope of the project from creeping and trying to keep that scope in check. That was a pretty big challenge this semester. Not to mention the ongoing, for any project, the ongoing interpersonal and need for people skills, especially given the number of stakeholders that were involved here. But in the end, Sharia and Mohammed and Andrew, all undergraduates by the way, have done a very good job of meeting that expectation for what is a pretty complex platform with many moving parts. I also want to offer Michael Lane an honorable mention for his ongoing and continuing hard work and guidance. So with that, I will turn it over to our team lead, Sharia. It's all yours.
Mohammed, would you share the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. This is Core Automation Phase 4. Our sponsors and client, Judge Thomas Cox, Micah Wolmeck, Justina Greenhalgh, Terrence Harris, and Michael Lane. Our team consists of me, Sharia Rahman, Andrew Lai, and Mohammed Arif. Now I'm going to pass it on to Mohammed.
Thank you, Shaharia. So a little background of the project. The core automation project was informally formed in late 2017 between Mr. Terrence Harris and Judge Thomas Cox. The purpose of this project was to enhance case management by implementing data science tools and technologies. It originally used Excel for the majority of it, but now we use R and Tableau for a more customized approach to case management. This project officially started off with phase 1 and 2. This was done by one team in spring of 2020. They focused on business understanding, data understanding, and modeling. And then it moved on to phase 3, which was done in fall of 2021. This phase consisted of 3 different teams: the modeling team, which focused on enhancing the modeling that phase 1 and 2 had done, and the hands-free team that focused on automating the program flow of the entire project using GitHub and GitLab, and the user acceptance testing team that worked on creating a user-friendly dashboard, a Tableau dashboard. And all of that leads to us today, which is phase 4. How we started off this project was trying to understand what the previous phases have done, That took a majority of the time early on. And when we understood what they had done, we started working on the model. We started running our model. We started meeting with our clients, Ms. Michael Olmec, and we started adding explanatory variables on the dashboard and researched other variables to implement, including financial data. And that leads to this presentation today. Our overall project goals are to improve model accuracy, to find explanatory variables, and to improve Tableau dashboard. So I'm going to pass it on to Andrew to discuss modeling.
Thank you, Mohammed. And so now I'll be talking about our efforts in improving the modeling portion of the project. So our first step in this process was to explore some possible modeling tools that we could use to achieve our goal of improving the model accuracy. And after doing some research, we ultimately decided to work with XGBoost because it's both a very powerful modeling tool as well as something that was really interesting to us as a team. And on top of that, it was initially utilized by the previous team, Phase 3, and we wanted to continue what they were working on and try to improve their model. And so what is XGBoost? Well, XGBoost stands for Extreme Gradient Boosting, and it's a decision tree-based machine learning algorithm that follows a gradient boosting framework to help predict target variables, which in our case, we're trying to predict on case duration. And so in our efforts to try and improve the model accuracy, we were unfortunately not able to achieve this goal. The previous team had an accuracy rate of 75%, while our highest we achieved was 71%. However, this is kind of a tricky thing, and it's not such a bad thing since the main reason for the decreased accuracy was when we narrowed the binning. So as we narrowed the binning and our error bar decreased, we were essentially making the model more strict, leading to a decrease in accuracy rate. So to provide an example of how this makes sense, so imagine you're a teacher and you're grading papers. Well, you can decide to be more strict when grading a certain paper, which could lead to that student getting a worse score. However, they are getting a more truthful and honest response, right? And so that's sort of what's happening with our model, where we're making it more strict, which leads to a decrease in accuracy rate. However, we're getting a more truthful and honest model. And on top of that, another reason why the accuracy rate has decreased is due to the data we use. So we use data that includes cases that occurred during COVID-19 and while the previous group had not. And so although we weren't able to improve the accuracy rate for our model, we were able to make some really great improvements. So one would be the parallelization of the model, where we utilize a package called Do Future in R. And what this does is it allows for the model to utilize more of your computer cores and do multiple tasks at the same time in parallel, rather than having to wait for each step to finish. And what this allows us to do is to run the models a lot faster. So before we parallelize the code, the model would take it would sometimes take 20+ hours, but now we shorten it, so now it's only taking around a couple hours. And another improvement we made to the model was we were able to make it stable. So prior to this project, the model had some stability issues, and we also fix those issues and make the model more stable, meaning that if you make small changes to input, it won't have any unexpected drastic impacts on the output of the model. We also added some cleaning methods back into the date model so that it can detect any possible outliers. And through our many iterations of the model and using a tool called Grid Search, we were able to find the optimal hyperparameters for running the model. And hyperparameters are essentially the rules and guidelines by which the model runs. And so here on the right, you can kind of see a little bit of how our model looks. And as you're probably thinking, this model is pretty confusing and doesn't make sense. So if you can go to the next slide. Here you can see a much more understandable model. And in here we utilize a tool called LIME, which stands for Local Interpretable Model Agnostic Explanations. And what this does is it helps us to explain our model to people who may not have as much of a technical or mathematical background. So here in this image on the left are labeled all the features that are having an impact on case duration, and each dot inside the model is an individual case. And on the bottom, you can see that we're measuring the effect that each feature has in days. So as the dot goes further to the right and becomes more red, that means it's increasing case duration by X amount of days. And as the dot goes further to the left and becomes more blue, that means this is decreasing case duration by this amount of days. And we also added some filters, so you can filter by a certain defense attorney or district attorney. And another great thing that LIME offers is that we can now see the effects of each feature at an individual case level. So here's an image of what that looks like. So you can sort by any indictment number and it will highlight that specific case. And also on here, you can see the tooltip, which shows some important information like the case ID, the feature and its value, as well as the effect it has in days. And you can also see the district attorney and defense attorney for that case, which we intentionally blocked out for the presentation's sake. And so now I'll pass it back to Mohammed, who will be talking about some of the research we did with financial data.
Thank you, Andrew. While researching some of the explanatory variables that affects case duration, we landed on financial data. One avenue that we pursued was median income by zip code, where we took a median income by county file and merged it with a zip code file and implemented that into the model. We did that to see if it would make any changes to the model, and unfortunately, we weren't successful in this, but we learned from our mistakes as well. One more thing that we found while researching financial data was that we should implement bond data into our models. And this was suggested by a subject matter expert that we had found through our research. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to implement this, but we believe this would be a good idea for future teams. I'm going to pass it on to Shahari to discuss the Tableau dashboard.
All right, the Tableau dashboard, which is used by our client for case management purposes. This dashboard was created by previous teams, which consist of 7 dashboards. But we're going to be mainly focusing on forecast summary and scheduling chart for improvement. The way we to improve the dashboard, we collaborate with Ms. Micah Walmek to understand the business process. We have presented 5 to 6 cases in weekly basis meeting and with possible anomalies. We documented Ms. Micah's response, and we also try to understand Ms. Micah's approach on when a case does not follow a general steps. We use Ms. Micah's expertise, experience, and feedback to improve the dashboard. Some of the changes we have done for visualization, we changed the color to better distinguish hearing event on the chart. And we also have added and removed hearing event, which is relevant or not relevant. From Ms. Micah's feedback, which is not relevant, we removed them and we added which she thought is relevant. We also improved the legend. We renamed them and we also put them in an order. We simplified the tooltip information, make it more cohesive. And last but not the least, we added the line model to the dashboard. Here is the picture from previous team, and our team is the forecast summary. And here's the comparison between the previous team and our team for scheduling chart. Now I'm going to pass it into Mohammed.
Thank you, Shaharia. So our recommendations for our next team include having more XGBoost iterations, try to get a better accuracy for the models, and to explore Lime. We believe this is a very useful tool, and we might have not gotten to everything that it could do. Exploring more would be very beneficial. Add bond data as an explanatory variable. This could be really, this could affect case duration. We won't know until someone tries. And then explore Boopar for business process mining. Boopar is a package on R that can help you visualize business process mining. Could be very useful. And add collapsible filter on Tableau dashboard. That could be very useful feature because it'll save a lot of real estate on the dashboard. Moving on to lessons learned. We've learned a lot of soft skills and technical skills over the course of this project. Some of the soft skills include communications, coping to challenging environments, adapting to changes, teamwork, and time management. And the technical skills including modeling in R, Tableau, GitHub, GitLab, and Microsoft Project. And something that I didn't mention in the slide, on the physical slides is life skills. A lot of the times when we were presenting or just having conversations with our clients and sponsors, they would help us out, help us feel more confident in our presentations, and we really appreciate that. I want to give a special thank you to our clients and sponsors, Ms. Thomas Cox for giving us the opportunity to create this project, Ms. Micah Womack for sitting with us every week, giving us our insights, and Ms. Justina Grinholk for just making us more presentable, just helping us throughout anything that we needed. And Mr. Terrence Harris for providing us with anything that we needed, including data. I know that was a lot of work. We really appreciate your work and you being there for us. And last but not least, Mr. Michael Lane. He's been there with us day and night ever since day one of this project, and we really appreciate him. Thank you, guys. And that concludes our presentation. Any questions?
Yes, we do have a question from Professor Martin. He says, you stated that you presented 5 cases for review. What was the reliability of the presented cases? Did the client find them to be accurate based on your data analysis?
So basically, we presented the case number, and we asked Ms. Micah for any anomalies that we believe over there. We also use later on we use her feedback, and actually we try to understand if the anomalies are correct. So there's a chart, we can look at it, like every event that happened in the case, and that's how we were able to find information. She has better insight of all the case numbers.
Got it. Okay. And our next question is from Jeffrey. He says, hey guys, did you guys learn anything surprising about the court system when doing this project?
I wouldn't say surprising, but a lot of cases take a lot of time. Some of them took a lot more time than we thought. What the average time per case duration was interesting to learn. Maybe not surprising because, you know, courts move slow, but it was good to have a number to it.
Yeah, I think just to add on to that, I think something we all learned was just how complex the whole court system is. And yeah, there's just a lot of moving parts and moving pieces that both Judge Cox and Ms. Micah have to kind of maneuver around. And yeah, we were really grateful to just be part of that process as well.
It was also interesting to see how Ms. Micah takes, you know, there's a general steps of the case, and how she takes some of the cases that are not following the steps. That was amazing to learn.
Any other questions for the team? I know that hands feature doesn't work, so you can put 2 in a chat and I will allow you to speak and ask the question if you don't want to write. Michael, you're part of the program. We appreciate you very much. Absolutely.
I just wanted to thank you guys. I really appreciate all the hard work. We couldn't have finalized certain things without you guys, especially implementing both Lime to help to make the model understandable for judges and Micah, and helping with XGBoost. I really appreciate your guys' help, and I really hope, I wish you best of luck in your guys' future jobs.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Ms. Micah, Judge Cox, would you like to add something?
Micah, you can certainly go first. Go ahead. All right, I'll quicken. First of all, thank you, Mohammed, Saharia, and Andrew for your work. So in my view, this team, you know, you all came, the Model T had already been created. But, you know, if you look back over the history of the creation of the automobile, the enhancements and the improvements are often not given equal weight. In this case, I believe that your work was as essential as creating the Model T, because what I'm seeing is I'm seeing enhancements for the end user, for the judge, for the litigation manager. You also helped me with something we talked about, sort of the gamification of case management. You're now able to pinpoint specific actors and factors that delay case movement. And the conversation that we had about one particular attorney that your data identified as slowing the movement of a case is very helpful, because not only did you objectively identify what the person was doing, you showed us the tools that they were using to delay the case. That type of information is useful. So again, I think that, you know, you all didn't create the Model T, but you took it in a quantum leap forward to make it more usable, a more comfortable ride for the end user. So again, thank you to each of you, as well as Terrence, Michael, and Justina for even structuring this. I really believe that you all have advanced this project tremendously. Thank you.
Gentlemen, I also want to say thank you as well. You guys were awesome to work with. I look forward to seeing all three of you every week. I appreciate the hard work you put into this. And I just wish you all the best of luck in your endeavor. Good luck. And if there's anything you should need from me, please don't hesitate to call me, reach back, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I am so proud of you. Mr. Terrence?
Thank you, Justine. I just wanted to extend my gratitude to Shari and Mohammed and Andrew for sticking in there. I'll be frank. I know it wasn't always easy. You had other competing forces going on with your other coursework. We were not without recognizing that. So I hope you found this to be a valuable experience, and I hope when things ease up, you guys will come by and come downtown and offer us a handshake. Best wishes to you, and please stay in touch.
Thank you.
Will do. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much once again. This is the time when you guys can put in the chat appreciation for this team. Wow.
Great job on the background, you guys.
Yes. So many ones, everybody. Just appreciate your presentation. That's so much work.
I really appreciate the time that Mike could put in with these guys.
I would like to thank every single one of you. It was a great journey for us. It was an amazing experience. It was really, it's from the bottom of my heart. I thank you guys.
Just go out there and make us proud. We're going to be watching you. Each student is very important to us. So behind you, Fulton County is walking. So on that note, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you all the sponsors, clients, and students. We're going to take a break for lunch now. We have the honor to welcome Mapping and Alignment of Kronos Workforce Dimension team. Jessica, can you please bring Donald as well? Thank you. Fantastic. Joseph, who is going to share the screen?
Oh, Joseph, I think you're muted.
I'm going to share the screen.
You're going to share the screen? Okay. Jessica, if you can remove everybody else, Phyllis and Dinich. Absolutely. Thank you so much for letting me know. And on that note, Pam, you may want to introduce your team.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our team is working with the Kronos migration for migrating from workforce central to workforce dimensions. This group has been very flexible in that we've had some deliverables that timeline changes, and they were very, very open to these changes and adjusted well. So Joseph Resvir. I'll give it over to you.
All right, thank you.
Greetings to everyone, and thank you for your attention. My name is Joseph Chirampratu.
And I'm Rajveer Sajra.
And we're the team working on mapping and alignment of Kronos workforce dimensions under Application Development Manager Pam Johnson. As a small introduction, Fulton County currently uses the Workforce Central to record employees' time log data for proper salary and hourly pay allocations. Every pay cycle, the information is collected, then transferred to CGI, which ultimately conducts the payroll process. Our project was to ensure all fields, variables, hardware that Workforce Central currently uses to keep track of all this data was migrated properly to the new system that the county was switching to called Workforce Dimensions. Please join us as we showcase what we have achieved over the past semester and what the future of this project entails. So the main question here is why the upgrade? So first we'll go over why the need for an upgrade is, why the upgrade is necessary. So currently there exist many limitations within the Workforce Central, and that creates unnecessary hurdles for the employees. For an example, Workforce Central requires an older version of Java to run properly. This will often prevent employees from upgrading the other software because they use, because if they do it, it will cause compatibility issues, which will lead to more support tickets for the help desk. Another benefit is that the user will no longer need a license to clock in and out of their phone or laptop, because right now Workforce Central, it is license dependent, and there's only so many licenses to go around. Another feature is with AI, a digital personal assistant can be used to automate repetitive tasks, and machine learning algorithms can aid in scheduling forecasts, accuracy to potential collaborative self-scheduling, and type-keeping data projections. And with another feature is with the full responsive user interface, there is customizable view of solution and integrations with services such as Google Drive, Docs, and Sheets. And now we'll go over the first main task we were able to complete, which was to analyze the current hardware that is deployed within the various departments of Fulton County. And as part of this upgrade to a newer system, not all clocks that were used to clock in and out were compatible with dimensions. And there was unfortunately a shortage with the compatible clocks. The 001 models were not compatible, but the 501 models were. So we needed to find a solution on how to properly allocate this limited number of physical clocks. So what we did was we examined the list of clocks, their locations, model types, and we arrived at the conclusion to remove the ones that are located in the Superior Court locations as employees were moved to PC logins. We decided that assigning these clocks to departments which should remain open 24/7, like the sheriff offices and emergency services, and that took precedence over any other department. And as you can see, these screenshots from the are from the file we worked on, and the clocks were assigned to move. The clocks you see on top were assigned to move, and the ones that are being replaced are highlighted in the bottom. Moving on to pay codes. This is where we examined the different slides, different fields that needed to be matched between the old and the new systems. These are the pay codes. So they are the direct data within the fields that is then matched with the corresponding code in the separate payroll system called CGI. In order to most efficiently carry over these codes to Workforce Dimensions, we had to clean up a lot of unnecessary codes that were built up over time. So after careful analysis, we determined which codes were, which were needed to be brought forward and which were superfluous. The screenshot you currently see contain all the current pay codes in Workforce Central. The middle column contains corresponding codes in CGI. And the right column is the condensed version of the list we determined was most optimal. Also, please note that we did not adjust any of the sheriff locations because those locations run on a different pay cycle than the rest of the departments in the county. Moving on to another task we were able to complete was, in order to minimize the downtime in locations with non-compatible clocks when this new Workforce Dimensions goes live, we decided to see the feasibility of having both clocks installed side to side. To figure this out, we had to ask ourselves these questions. Is the drop external or internal? Are the new InTouch clocks optioned for the Wi-Fi adapters? Are there any wiring differences between them? And after our investigation, we were able to conclude that this was impossible because the drops were internal to the wall with no wiring exposed, as seen in the photo on the left. And we found that the two cannot share the same power supply due to the differences in their ports. And lastly, we discovered that the new clocks will not be able to connect to the internet wirelessly, and the physical connection is preferred due to security reasons. The photo on the right is us overseeing one of the new InTouch clocks being installed. And now I'm going to turn it over to Rajveer, who will take it from here.
All right, thank you, Joseph. So our next major task after that was to condense the pay and the work rules being used in Workforce Central before they are moved into Workforce Dimensions. A work rule is the set of parameters that an employee's schedule adheres to, and a pay rule is the set of parameters by which their pay is calculated according to that schedule. So for example, imagine the differences in calculating the pay for a salaried employee and an hourly employee. They're entirely different, and that's similar to what this is. The scale is just different. So this screenshot you see is from our spreadsheet that we created after examining the current Workforce Central rules. The column on the left contains the work rules. The column on the right contains the corresponding pay rules. These two sets of rules work in tangent with one another. In this screenshot, you will notice that some are highlighted red. This is to isolate those work rules that we determined serve no purpose as they do not have a corresponding pay rule associated with them, which means that they are entirely redundant and can be eliminated before these rules get transferred into the new system, Workforce Dimensions. And as we were working on finding the optimal distribution between the non-compatible and compatible clock models, the security team was working on a VPN tunnel, which would allow for the 001 non-compatible models to work on the new Workforce Dimension system. This could only be implemented if the clocks were updated to the latest firmware. So that's where our attention went to next. The screenshot you see above shows what a successful firmware upgrade looks like within Workforce Central. And the list below shows an example of some of the clocks that we updated and what their firmware versions were before and after the process. We were also able to attend training sessions with other employees on the new Workforce Dimension software. And during that, we took note of a few positive differences that we were unaware of beforehand. The most immediate difference was the stark contrast in user interface. So not only is it much more aesthetically pleasing than Workforce Central, but users can now customize and personalize their view when logging in. The screenshot on the top right demonstrates the new submenu that appears when clicking on an employee's name. And this allows for quick access to various functions that can be performed. And on the bottom right, we can see that Workforce Dimensions will now visually alert management if they have unsaved changes to an employee's schedule. And a small red asterisk will appear on the time slot, indicating it will be lost if not saved before exiting. So this session really helped to expand our knowledge on the smaller quality differences between Workforce Dimensions and Workforce Central. And now let's move forward and discuss the future of this project. So the next biggest milestone to be completed is the importing of time card data from the older Workforce Central and inserting it into Workforce Dimensions by utilizing SQL queries. And once that step is complete, the team will move on to the testing phase of the project. The official rollout date for phase 1 of the new system is now July 7th, changed from the previous April 1st date. And phase 2 will be sometime in September as of now. And lastly, the installations of the new InTouch model clocks will continue throughout the departments in efforts to retire the older models that can be replaced. And before we open up for the questions, we want to thank Pam for helping us through the project. She was amazing to work with. We want to thank Justina for encouraging us all along the way. We want to give a shout out to Donald for challenging us during our weekly meetings. And also to Melissa for helping us when we went to the Government Center in downtown. And finally, we want to thank you all for listening to our presentation, and we would like to open the floor to any questions that you may have.
All right, so we are waiting for questions at the moment. Or if you would like to speak, I believe Justina said you can put a 2 in the chat.
If we don't have any questions, I'm going to open the stage for the sponsors, Donald and Pam.
I just want to say something, Rajveer and Joseph. You know, you guys were amazing because every time you thought you had the answers, I changed the questions, right? But you came back with the right answers, and I'm very impressed. I mean, I made sure that you understand that you are, you know, technologists, and you got to understand this project from both the business side of it and the technology side. So that's one of the reasons why I always wanted to pull the rug out of you so you could think on your feet, and you have done well. I'm very proud, and I obviously believe strongly that we're going to use all your reports in our project. And just for the record, I just want to say the only reason we moved the Go Live phase 1 is more a business decision and not because the project was behind. And the Go Live for the entire project will be September 1. It is not sometime in September, but September 1. I just want to say that because it's very important for us to have strong dates around projects. And you guys have done extremely well. Whenever you were challenged, you rose up to the occasion, and I'm very impressed. I think the new generation is probably doing even better than my generation. So I'm pretty happy, guys, that we're leaving it in good hands. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to piggyback on what Donald is saying. I totally agree with everything that he has said. I think when we started the project, I did tell the guys that Donald would be definitely challenging you guys. So make sure that you're on your toes. Also, I want to say that we do have documentation that the guys provided that we will have in our files and we will be using going forward. So thank you again for making some of our tasks not just easier, but you created documents that were, I felt, better than what we had in place. So we really appreciate that. We appreciate how you guys have worked with us. And in moments notice when the third-party vendor was ready to install clocks, you know, I had to call you or text you at last minute, and you were there at the Government Center. So thank you again. I appreciate all your help.
Thank you, Pam.
Great job on the project. Sure.
And I just want to add, and this is for all the projects, the good thing I've seen all across the board is documentation. I mean, I cannot emphasize, and everyone on this Capstone has done excellent in documentation. That goes a long way in the future of these projects.
Absolutely. Thank you, Donald, for your feedback. Actually, I have one question for the team. How it felt when you guys came to the building and actually physically were able to see those clocks versus just to read about that?
I could take this one. Yeah, when I first went into the building, I got lost when I was looking for the installation. I was asking the security up front, like, how exactly to get to where I needed to go, and we were in contact with Pam too. But being there and not just talking about the clocks, reading about them, seeing the images as on a PDF, getting to actually be there and see the work getting done in person. No, I would say it felt really good. And for this, we were able to go to the government center multiple times. So I feel really thankful for that. It was a good experience.
And we're glad that we had that option, or like that opportunity to see it as well, because we knew going in it was most of it was going to be virtual. So getting that opportunity kind of definitely helped us with getting ideas. And when we were presenting, we were more confident that we knew the product we were working with.
And Justina, I just want to add to that. It came from a conversation I had with two gentlemen. They talked about the clocks. And I just asked them a question: have you all seen the clocks? And they both looked at me and said, no. I said, you can talk about something that you haven't seen. It's, you can get all the theory, but haven't you seen it? And then I saw, once they saw the clocks, there was a huge change in the discussion level, because earlier it was all on paper and theory, but now when they touched and felt it, they could come out with such much. So it's very important.
And that's the feedback that I was looking for, Donald. Exactly how that shift happened and took place in their performance.
Yeah, big shift. It's almost like swimming. Everybody can teach you how to swim theoretically, but until you jump in the pool and try those strokes, you'll never know.
Absolutely. So thank you for that feedback, Donald, once again. And on that note, thank you so much. We're going to welcome next team. And this is the time when you can provide the feedback for the team in a chat. I have an honor to welcome Joseph. Oh, wonderful. Yes, I want to make sure we don't have that on the screen. I have an honor to welcome Standard Operation Procedure Team for Agenda Management. Awesome.
So is this me?
Yes, Chad, that's your team. Yes.
Oh my gosh, man. These guys are amazing, man. I've enjoyed working with this team so much. This has been an extremely good help for not just myself, but for all of the users that use this application that they did this documentation for. There's over 400 users for this system. It's brand new. We haven't even finished implementing the project, but we have went live with the application. And these guys came in such a short period of time and were able to learn the application like the users and document it on a very granular level. And we've been asked so many of the users for documentation like this, but like I said, it's so new. We just didn't have an opportunity to do it. And these guys came in and rescued all of it. So I'd love to introduce Felix Mir and Dungam Lee.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chad. Felix and Don, I gave you permission, so it's all in your hands. Actually, I want to mention a little background about this project. Actually, Chad thought he will be working on a different project. But since he had another...
Can you share the screen, please?
Yes.
Don, give me a second. I just want to share with the audience how this came along. And Chad, he can chime in as well. Because they're supposed to work on totally different project. But Chad had this huge task to accomplish. And we switched in the last minute. And they took the ownership and they did an enormous job. So really kudos to you guys.
Yeah, amazing. Coming in thinking that you're doing something, and then you end up doing something completely wholly different. So switch the scope at the beginning of the project. So but they took it with stride. So it was great. Go ahead.
Who you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you share your screen? Thank you for chat and Justin. Hello everyone. My name is Dong-Hoon Lee. I'm one of team members for the agenda management application. It's an honor to present about this project. We have been working for the past 4 months on this project, and I'm really excited to show you guys what we've done. Felix, can you introduce yourself, please?
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Justine. Thank you, Chad. So we've been working on this application, on this SOP for quite a bit of time. Like Chad said, at the beginning of the semester, we were supposed to be working on a different project, but we ended up working for the agenda management application. So we're really excited to show you guys what we have done. I will first start off with the project scope. Okay. Scope of our project is to build and design a standard operating procedures manual for all departments and users for the agenda management platform called Legistar. Users do not have this document yet. We have been requesting it. We have been slowly designing the document and implementing it. And so we want this document to be user-friendly, easily readable, organizable, easy to access, and most importantly, easy for users to pick up and use. One of the purposes of Legistar is to support government departments from city councils to board of commissioners. And also, Fulton County is not using the former system that they were using before. And so we are replacing the former system that was outdated with a new one called Legistar. Legistar is also supporting the automation of agenda management for over 4,500 public sector organizations. They are also distributing meeting responsibilities through live management, publishing data, reports, and media online. Inside of Legistar, there are many functions, such as maintaining, supporting documentation, generating and managing meetings and agendas, controlling workflows and supporting workflows, organizing and tracking files, creating minutes, publishing data, reports, and files, and media to the web. One of the things that Legistar does is it has different permissions for administrators and users. So for example, for users, they can only see legislative files that have been created by them or that have been a part of. As far as for administrators have can delegate files to other administrators. They can also delegate files to other users, and they can also approve or disapprove a file. So for example, if a legislative file gets disapproved, the user will receive an email in their Fulton County email saying that their file has been disapproved, and then they will have to restart the approval tracking sequence. Okay. There are many benefits to using Legistar. 70% of the largest cities and counties in the US use Legistar, with Fulton County being the largest county in the state of Georgia. Legistar provides a detailed analysis of user permissions for better security through the approval tracking sequence. We're also cutting down on paper, and we're stretching our budgets because the application is completely virtual and electronic. We can also eliminate manual workflows. It is easy to customize a workflow. We can optimize accessibility and transparency. We can also integrate to manage documents with Microsoft Word. Another benefit of Legistar is that it's accessible from anywhere. So Legistar uses a single sign-on and SML, which are security protocols. And so if a user is connected to the county network, they're automatically logged into Legistar. If they're not connected to the county network, they will have to put in their username and password. And so it will use a single sign-on, which basically authenticates their credentials based on the username and password to the county. the previous application that the county was using, the previous system, they did not have this feature. So it's a very important feature in security for the users and everyone involved. I will now pass it on to Dong-Hoon to talk about the impact of the SOP.
Thank you, Felix. Impact of standard operating procedures. So the SOP we created will reach all 45 departments in Fulton County along with over 400 users. Also, users will be able to use this application easily and efficiently with the SOP step by step. The document is being designed for all users of the agenda management application and administrators. Here's a screenshot from the SOP we created. We have made the SOP visually appealing and accessible. Every step in the SOP is described in detail and will be easy to follow for users. Next slide. Then board takes action on legislative files on their agenda. Without users, there is no agenda. Without an agenda, there are no users. So well-written SOP will be a valuable component of the new application and can reduce training time and cost. It will act as reference guides and allow all users who don't know about Legistar to use independently without excessive reliance on administrators. It will protect knowledge loss. We organize the many procedures, fields, tools, and items within the SOP, which made it helpful for users to understand the application more accurately. It will also help current users to quickly review over all the procedures. Then it can control the quality and consistency of legislative files. Our SOP can guide users and administrators to reduce the possibility of missed steps or other errors that impact the quality of the completed legislative files. And then, next slide. And then lessons learned. And then personally, this project taught me like how to apply my knowledge from college to real life business and professionally engage with clients. Also, it gave me the confidence to focus on my future in this career and learn how to improve my ability to connect with the business culture.
Personally, for me, communication, trustworthiness, and competence are the three major lessons that I have learned. So for communication, it is really important to communicate with your team members and also with your client every week. Every time there's a new update, any new ideas that you have, it's really important to communicate them as soon as you can. And so for communication, Dong brought this up earlier in the semester, he brought it up to meet in person. And so once a month, we will meet at the GSU library to work on our project in person, figuring that it would be much easier to get the work done and more efficient. For trustworthiness, it's really also vital that to trust your teammate and for your teammate to trust you. That way that your task can be done on time. You are not rushing on deadlines. You can also make sure that you can also take notes on if your teammate is absent to a meeting, and then we can share those notes with our team members. And for competence, both of us learned this application in 4 months. And so we feel really confident that we can apply what we have learned, not just in soft skills, research skills, writing skills to other projects later on, but to our careers later on in life. And so the confidence through working with Chad and working with Justina has given us a boost to our careers and also to our schoolwork also. So we would like to acknowledge Chad for being an amazing sponsor. We'll also like to thank Justina for always giving us great feedback, always being there for us, encouraging us, giving us enthusiasm. And we would like to thank Jeffrey Trent, for a fellow Capstone student, for giving us feedback on our project plan earlier in the semester. Thank you everyone for listening. Now we'll turn the floor.
Thank you very much.
That has any questions? Thank you everyone.
Thank you. Great job. Let's open for questions. Do we have any question QA or chat? If not, please put 2 in the chat and we will allow you to ask a question.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to know from you, Felix and Dungam, what was it like having to come in to learn an application that quickly? I mean, I know it was challenging, but if you could just share like some of your experience of what that was like.
Don, you want to go first?
Definitely the research the application and the understanding application. And then personally, I'm not good at speaking English. Just like so a weekly presentation was pretty tough time for me. But like as time goes on, like I felt that I got better. I'm getting better. So I'm really thankful like Felix and Chad.
Very good. Yes, very good.
Yeah, for me, the biggest learning curve was to learn Legistar. So this application, to make the SOP, we had to learn the application. And so we had to really play around with the application, because even though the application, we were starting from scratch and learning it, we had to do every step of the way in the application. And so we can know what we're talking about, and then we can put that in the SOP, because like the SOP is very granular and very detailed. So we want the users to be able to look at the SOP and say, hey, this is our training. This is very easy for us to understand and get the hang of it.
And I think what everybody needs to understand too is that, you know, right now, I'm the subject matter expert for this application, but I didn't train you guys. You did research and you actually taught me stuff that I didn't have time to learn because I'm doing so many other things with the application. So that's what was so good for me, because you could come in with your presentations every week and you were so granular about your research that there were options and things that I didn't even have a chance to check on yet. You showed me how to use the system even better. So that's even a bigger testament to how successful you guys were in this project. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chad. That's a great feedback, guys, from your sponsor. Absolutely.
And Justina, we do have a couple questions here.
Okay.
The first is from Professor Martin, and he asked, how much did you know about SOPs before this experience?
So for me, what I knew about SOPs was that SOPs is a very long document to create. And so I've looked at SOPs when, for example, for a printer, if you buy a new printer, it comes with the manual, or you can look up the manual, the PDF version online. So I knew that it was a very long document. It had a lot of bold text. It had a lot of attention to detail, and as far as screenshots, notes, important notes for the users to know. So what I knew about SOPs are it takes a long time. Now that we have created one, and so the one we created was over 35 pages. So it takes a long time to create, and it's very attention to detailed work.
Thank you for that response. And we have one last question here from Michael Lane, and he says, where can we find this wonderful documentation you have provided? He would love to read it himself.
Yeah, so the documentation, we're gonna provide that document to Chad. The documentation, we're 95% done with the document. We just need to put some finishing touches on it. And so, yeah, we're almost done with the document. And so when we're finished, we'll let you know, and we can share that. It's gonna go to the all the departments, all the users, so everyone will get to see it.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And that is the last of our questions for this presentation.
Wonderful. On that note, we appreciate you. Great job. We are so proud of you. And we're going to welcome next team.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
And
you.
this is the time when you can provide the feedback for everybody. I want to see more feedback in the chat. There you go. Everyone is getting a little bit tired. We understand.
Hello?
We're missing Steve Williams.
Oh.
Hey, Giblerto. You want to go by Giblerto? We had the discussion about that, correct?
Whichever is convenient. Everyone calls me whatever, honestly.
Oh, hey, Justin, do you mind if I re-log right quick? I got to sign into my Zoom.
Okay, we're waiting for Steve Williams, so just do it quickly. Matt, can you turn your camera on, please? Hey, Matt.
Hi, everyone.
Matt, do you know if Steve is going to join us?
He said in an email a little while ago that he was watching and keeping an eye on it. So
okay, let's give him a minute.
I did just email him again and say that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
they're on,
you. Huh?
So
thank you for that. Kevin, you may want to flip your background. There you go.
Okay, the funny thing is that it looks inverted or flipped for me.
For you. It's okay.
But
It's a mirror.
I'm assuming it looks okay for you guys.
Yes, now it does.
Great, okay. I was worried that like it looked the way that it looks for me when displayed to you guys, but apparently it's not that, so. Cool.
Justina, Steve says he keeps getting kicked out.
Oh, really?
Let me make sure he's using the right Zoom link.
Matt, can you please resend the Zoom link?
Yep, I'm sending that to him now.
He's in the attendees and may need to be promoted to panelist, which is, it kicks you off
Kirby.
before you join. There you go.
There he is.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you, Kirby.
Yeah, I'm here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Steve.
Am I on?
Yes, you are. You're going to introduce your team.
I'll keep it short, but I do want to say that I'm really happy with the work that Kevin and Gilberto have done. This project was really designed as a proof of concept, and they quickly moved beyond that and ended up producing something that's really ready to roll out. So they went way beyond, the original scope of the project. They surprised us every week with their progress. So I just want to say great job. I'm going to give Matt to say a couple words if you'd like to.
Yeah, I second everything that Steve said. Has impressed us every week with what you put together, and this dashboard is going to be in front of a lot of eyes for years to come. So you should be proud of what you put together.
Thank you so much, Steve and Matt. And I will also want to mention that they love to work with you. They always mention that we have great sponsors. So that's wonderful.
Good. So
Gilberto and Kevin, you guys have permission to share. and good luck.
Thank you. Gilberto.
I'm still getting the screen that hosts disabled attendees share screen. Okay, perfect. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gilberto Ventura Herrera, and alongside with me, I'm accompanied with my partner, Kevin Chen. And today we're going to be going over our data analytics project. So to kick off our presentation, we would like to talk about our project scope. Our client was facing issues in Tableau and Socrata developing an application that would run continuously. Furthermore, the application within Tableau and Socrata often require to consistently authenticate themselves whether our clients need to sign in to particular dashboards. Neither Tableau nor Socrata provide the client the ability to rotate various dashboards in a simple manner, as both of them are not really structured for rotating dashboards. Their main intention are to display graphs with the option to be interactive. The client wants to provide a medium to display various dashboards that automatically updates and transitions and would not require any user input and is only used for display purposes only. So to solve this, we have created a Shiny application within R. Now, some of y'all may wonder why R Shiny and not Tableau. Well, first of all, to explain, R Shiny is an R package that allows anyone to create interactive web applications. Now, the main reasons why we use R Shiny is because R Shiny is very flexible, as it contains various amounts of packages and features to make a dashboard or an application very appealing. Now, with R Shiny, we use R Code. R Shiny uses the powerful language that data analysts use to develop interactive displays or simple applications. From our personal experience, we are not well equipped in web application development. However, R Shiny allows us to have an easy time to follow structure without having the experience in HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. So now we're going to talk about our journey building the R Shiny application. As you guys can see in our infographic, there are 4 main milestones to create this application. Beginning with our scope stage, this is where we gather all the necessary user requirements. We then use those user requirements to gather and understand how to build a successful Shiny application. After that is the prototype stage. This is where we actually develop the application and build the required dashboards. The next 3, then there's the revision stage. This is the stage where we make sure that the application is fully functioning and is at optimal performance. Finally, there's the documentation and presentation stage, which is the one that we're in right now, we basically give our client the necessary documentation needed to understand the application itself. So within our Shiny application development, we have followed 3 simple steps. The first step is extracting the SQL query. Here, this is where we grab raw data from the internal database and pre-sort the necessary data to develop the server, which is going to be our next step. Within the server, this is where all the manipulation and the backend logic happens. This is where we develop the appropriate outputs and conditions needed to develop things such as charts and text boxes within the Shiny application. Finally, we have the user interface. Now, the server and the user interface work together to display the entirety of the app. This is where the information created within the server is displayed on the actual dashboard. Now, some of you guys may be wondering, why build the server first and not the UI? Well, for us, for the purpose of convenience and time. But also it serves as a purpose of having the UI work for the data displayed, but not have it the other way. Think about it the other way around. Now I would like to transition to Kevin, as he'll be talking about the Shiny application and its structure.
Thank you, Gilberto. So for our Shiny application, we designed the user interface in a way that doesn't require the viewer to scroll down to view whatever is on the screen, so that all the charts, all the graphs, all the text elements could be scaled properly, regardless of whatever screen size it may be displayed on. Additionally, our application includes 12 main tabs that correlates within a specific division to Fulton County. So each tab refers to a single department allocated in Fulton County. Now, within each tab, there may contain multiple subtabs that all display various information for that particular department. Now, moving on, we have 3 key features that we developed into this application. we have responsive web design, automatic transitions, and automatic updates through SQL queries. Now for the responsive web design, this is where we built into the application of it being scaled properly across any type of display setting, right? So that could be a TV, that could be a monitor, not so well for your phone, but TV monitor especially. And automatic transitions, this is where each dashboard moves on to the other dashboard. And this will run indefinitely until the application closes. And lastly, automatic updates through SQL queries. This is where the information displayed on the screen gets updated at a certain time interval so that, for instance, if the information displayed is to be updated in a single day, it will update that information on that after the session starts for that day, and it will be updated accordingly. So moving forward, what we want to do is showcase the differences between our app and a pre-existing dashboard provided by Fulton County. Now, this slide includes a Socrata web page for Fulton County Airport operations, where on the left-hand side, we can see there are text elements featuring flight operations for the previous month. And on the right-hand side, we see a chart that displays monthly operations by flight type. Now, to give you guys context, we couldn't fit all the elements, all the charts, all the text elements within a single slide, because within Socrata, you would have to scroll down to see all the content related to that Socrata display. Now, for our application, what we did was we combined multiple text elements and charts to fit all into one screen. Now, this particular dashboard is for that same Socrata webpage. It displays within two groups the flights for the previous month and flight operations year to date, and two charts which include the daily and the monthly flight operations. And to show you another example of a Socrata dashboard, this includes courts. This particular court dashboard is for Superior Court Criminal Complex, which is a type of court system. And on the left-hand side, we have all judges with cases pending greater than a year, which this shows the total amount. And on the right-hand side, we have the number of cases for the judges with defendants in jail greater than a year. And similarly to the previous Socrata webpage, this cannot fit on a single screen, which here is snippets from that particular dashboard. Now for our dashboard, it includes a similar, which includes the same numbers. However, now this time grouped together and can now all fit in one screen. And to show, or in reality, we couldn't unfortunately show our official application here today because we couldn't get the proper permissions on time, as there are some sensitive information still being worked out. But instead, what we did was created a sample application that mimics the functions that we provided in our official application. Roberto, the video. So as you can see here, if you look on the left-hand side, the tabs transitions from one to the other. Now this will run indefinitely as well. And for the text boxes, you may see that they change within a millisecond. That can be changed for time intervals within our official application as well. And so in conclusion, we created a Shiny application that's both visually aesthetic and provides various features that includes a responsive web design that transitions and automatically updates itself. Furthermore, our Shiny application, we can ensure that it contains all the necessary information. It runs at close to optimal performance to provide all the benefits and solutions that may not have been found in Tableau or Socrata. And now we're going to give it to Gilberto, who's going to provide us the lessons learned we learned in this project.
Thank you, Kevin. So within the semester, we actually learned a lot, especially these are the 5 main things that we actually learned. And one of the biggest things within our hardcore skills is learning the thorough understanding of our Shiny. As we came into the project, we were basically kind of like at an intermediate level, having to take an R-Shiny class last semester. But now after exposing the language to the entirety of the semester, we actually have now an even better thorough understanding of R-Shiny and the R programming language as well. We also had a lot of real world professional experience. As from me and Kevin's personal experience, we haven't really had much professional experience as in like working in a professional setting. So this was a perfect opportunity to actually gain those professional skills and experience as well. We also learned that communication is key. Definitely, we've always keep each other in contact between me and Kevin as teammates, and also within our clients, to making sure that to make sure that we are on the right track and making sure that the client is understanding what is going on within our capstone. And next is prioritization. We also learned that there's some things that need to be done sooner than others, and other things that may involve a higher task and risk than others. So we actually learned how to prioritize. And last but not least, patience. Since we are really heavily involved in R, we also noticed that there is a lot of testing going on and a lot of failures. So, and also if you actually heard that phrase, patience is key, it really was definitely key within our application, as it took a numerous amount of tries in order to get whatever we have to get right. So we also want to acknowledge and want to say a special thank you to Steve Williams and Matt Singren for the entirety of the project. We also want to thank the project directors, Justina, Kirby, and Jessica, for helping us provide information and updating us on what goes on within Fulton County. We also want to give a really big shout out to Professor John Martin and Shuguang Hong for giving us also some advice that we could go in the professional world, and some of the teachings that they provided us in their notes. And last but not least, the Fulton County government and Georgia State University as a whole. We want to also say thank you for giving us the opportunity to get this business experience within this kind of capstone project. And without further ado, are there any questions?
Wonderful, great presentation. Chris, Jessica, can you guys please check if we have any questions in the chat on the QA? Please put 2 if you want to ask a question verbally.
At the moment, there are no questions, and no one wants to verbally speak at the moment. Okay, Michael Lane has a question, and he says, what was your favorite part of this project? What was most challenging?
I guess I could go on that. So my favorite part about the project is definitely, well, speaking to and kind of like greeting the clients and getting, well, basically it's getting the experience, the business experience we need. As mentioned before, like me and my partner Kevin, we barely had any kind of like, job very professional level experience that we need. And honestly, like being also productive as well, having to come up with different ideas and everything and to the table, that's also another favorite part. Now, the most challenging part of it about this presentation is like, well, obviously, troubleshooting in R, because we had to do a lot of testing throughout the entirety of the semester. It's frustrating. It does take a lot of time, but also, as mentioned, patience is really the biggest key. And as a result of all of our patience and having to troubleshoot and everything, we got the best results possible. Any other questions?
Oh, yes.
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay. We have another question from Michael Lane. He says, do you have any recommendations for Fulton County with R-Shiny?
Yeah, I could take that one. Yeah, R-Shiny is really powerful. It's a really powerful tool, as demonstrated in our presentation today. Yeah, so we can definitely see a future where Fulton County uses a variety of different R-Shiny applications. It's really robust. It's pretty easy to do. Furthermore, it's really great for standalone applications. If you wanted to build a model for how to put something on a website that you would like to customize, then our Shiny would be a great template for you to use, if not the actual application for you to use on a Fulton County website. So to answer your question, yes, it's definitely would be a useful tool for Fulton County to use in the future.
Okay, thank you for that response. And we have one last question from Phyllis Fletcher. Can the application be can the application be used in other Fulton County departments?
That would be a question better suited for our clients, Steve and Matt. We don't necessarily have an answer for that from us.
Okay, thank you.
If or Matt, do you guys want to chime in?
Well, I mean, it applies, of course, to all departments, as they showed in their project. Many of the dashboards, well, all the dashboards, or for the various departments. In terms of, developing our Shiny applications, it does take, a certain skill level that everybody doesn't have, although, anybody can certainly learn it. But in terms of other departments actually developing their own our Shiny applications, the only barrier would be, developing the skills to do it.
Thank you, Steve, for your answer. Are there any other questions, Jessica, Chris?
That concludes our questions.
Thank you so much. On that note, we appreciate you. Great presentation. This is the time when you can provide the feedback for the team in the chat.
Thank you. Yep.
Thank you, GCC, for having us.
Wonderful. You guys did a great job. I'm going to welcome next team, which I did not align on purpose the team on that way, but next team is a Tableau upgrade phase 3. Now you guys will have to convince previous team why we need to have Tableau. Chad, welcome again.
Yeah, hi everybody again. Hey Jeffrey, hey Arinze. These, oh my God, this project, and I know everybody has been saying this about their teams, but these young men have blown me away. Like their talent and their approach to this project and their work ethic. I mean, what people have to understand is that this project, it would not have been possible had they not come in and helped us with this. I mean, This was an extreme undertaking. It was very taxing. It was very technical. These young men came in and they learned how to do this stuff with Michael's assistance, and they have just really blown me away with the presentations that they have given and the level of work that they have done. I mean, this project for them specifically, I mean, they worked on weekends, hours upon hours upon hours, overnight, and but juggling school to get this done. And I cannot show my appreciation enough for what these guys have done. It's just blown me away. I mean, me thinking about me at that age, I just don't even. It's just a surprise and shock for me. So I'm so proud.
I know they did a 3 dry run.
Yes, they had to do several dry runs in a development environment before they could even touch production, and that took an immense amount of time. It took several days just to do production, much less the dry runs they had to do. So I'm so super proud of these guys. The project was a success. I mean, users are using it now, and I mean, I don't want to tell you too much, but I want them to go through their project. So I'll introduce Jeffrey Trent.
I want to mention one more thing, Chad. This is phase 3 of this project.
Yes.
The
Yes.
phase 3 and the
yes.
last one.
Yeah, so we've
So-
had students come in and do documentation and research and go through several phases, and these guys were charged with coming in and actually performing and doing the work. Just amazing work. So
Thanks.
I'll leave it to
We appreciate
Arinze and Jeffrey.
Indeed, I would like to leave it to them. The only thing I'll mention is one of the greater challenges that they faced was the fact that Tableau had, between the version we were on and they'll go into this, and the version we wanted to get to, there were some errors. Okay.
Thank you so much, Michael. I think they have that within the presentations.
Do it. So take it away.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Michael, for your assistance.
Okay, now start sharing. You mind giving me screen sharing, Justina?
I think I can do that. Last one, best one.
I hope so.
No question.
Yikes. Okay.
Visual arts with Tableau.
Cool. We'll just go and get right into it. So, hello everyone. Welcome to our presentation today. Looks like we're the last group of the day, so everyone's pretty tired. So we'll try to wrap this up as quick as we can. So this is the Tableau upgrade phase 3 group with me, Jeffrey Trin, and my partner Arinze Okumas, and we are both seniors from Georgia State University, and we've been working in the Capstone program with Fulton County for around 3 or 4 months since late January of this year. Arinze, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Absolutely. So as stated, my name is Arinze Okumas. We're both Georgia State students majoring in computer information systems, and we were working on the Tableau server upgrade under the leadership of Carl, Chad, and Justina, and the help and supervision of Michael Lane. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first, we're gonna just do a quick description of what exactly Tableau is. So Tableau is a particular software that kind of makes sense of data in a sense and converts it into a more visually appealing format for you to be able to understand what exactly the data is saying and be able to make educated business decisions. Take, for instance, if you're giving a list of 10 addresses. Typically, if data in its raw form, there's only so much you can do with it. However, when you put these addresses into Tableau, they can generate things like maybe you can be able to see things like maybe the median age of the homeowners, or maybe you can be able to see what kind of homes are in these areas. And you can use these to, make business decisions. Say, take, for instance, you want to sell life insurance or whatever the case may be you want to do. These data, the data that you're able to interpret using Tableau will enable you to make educated business decisions. With that being said, our job was to work with Tableau, specifically the server. So think about the server as maybe a Google Drive or a Google Cloud, where you're able to take these workbooks or compilations of data and upload them. That way, you don't always have to constantly download and re-upload your workbooks. You can just kind of log on and work on it simultaneously, you and your team as well, not just yourself. In addition, you can decide permissions and pick who gets to see what and who gets to work on what. And that way you can kind of enable that element of privacy and element of permission. With that being said, that was our major work, to upgrade this server, because the server that Fulton County was using was very, very outdated. I believe they were using 10.5 and we had to upgrade it to 20.2. And using 10.5 in 2021, Michael equivocated it to using Windows 95. So it was very, very outdated. We're constantly running into errors and it was time for an upgrade. So we were called on to go ahead and upgrade this server to a much recent or much current version. And Tableau is a particular software that's used by so many different companies. You have companies like Oracle, Salesforce, and Amazon, Google. So it's definitely a big software. And if you're able to master it, you're definitely in in the good ones. This is an example of basically what Tableau does. So on the left, you have number of passengers on flights in 2019, and on the right, you have number of passengers on flights in 2020. Obviously, we all know what happened in 2020, and the airline industry was one of the hardest hit industries across the different sectors. However, what Tableau did in this particular situation was to get the particular data, which is in this case is number of passengers, and it puts it in a visually appealing form. So that way you're able to see just how big of an impact COVID had in the aviation industry, as opposed to just being presented a chart of numbers. With Tableau, you're able to take those numbers and turn it into a visually appealing chart. The project history. So as Chad and Justina stated, the project was divided into 3 phases. The first phase underwent in the spring of 2020, and their job was mainly to gather research and gather intel as to how exactly the upgrade will be undergone, how exactly to do this, and what exactly are the risks that we'll be facing. The phase 2 of the project, which was underwent the following fall, their job was to create a test server and so that we can use this to perform a dry run. Because the thing is, a lot of Fulton County information, and a lot of secret, not necessarily secret, but a lot of confidential Fulton County information is on the servers. So you don't just want to just run an upgrade the first time. You want to create a test server to make sure you're assessing and you're preparing for any risks that could arise before you go ahead and make the actual upgrade. So that was the job of phase 2. In phase 3, we were responsible for fixing the errors that did arise when the test server was ran, when the test upgrade was ran. And in addition, we had to go ahead and actually upgrade the server. So that was our job. And I would say we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. I believe Jeffrey can definitely attest to that. It took a lot of time and a lot of patience and a lot of work, but we had an amazing supervisor, Michael, who was there to kind of walk us through the entire project.
Absolutely.
With that being said, I will be passing it over to my partner, Jeffrey, to give you guys the lowdown and the details of the upgrade.
Appreciate it, Renzi. So what you guys are looking right now in this slide are, it's basically our timeline of the higher level project goals and the milestones that we reached and accomplished during the course of this project. So just to quickly go over this, in the beginning, we focused on fixing all the initial issues with the server, such as enabling emails. Then we researched licenses, and then we filled out this very important document known as the Tableau blueprint, which we will discuss more later. And then we prepared for and performed our first dry run or practice run of the upgrade on the test/development server. And using the experience and documentation that we gained from that first upgrade, we were then able to better prepare for and ultimately implement the upgrade of the production server more successfully. And the last milestone of our project, which we're currently working on, is creating the user manual that Fulton County staff can refer to if they want to learn how to use the Tableau server. For the purposes of our presentation, we'll discuss more in depth our 3 most important milestones, which were completing the Tableau blueprint, performing the first dry run of the upgrade, and then finally performing the actual upgrade. Next slide, please. Right, so this is a picture of one of the sheets of the Tableau blueprint, and completing this document was one of our early milestones directly related to relating to documentation to help us prepare for the upgrade, right? So the blueprint is basically an official Excel document provided by Tableau itself, and it lists all of the documentation and preparation that we had to take, and most importantly, list each individual step that we had to take, which you can see on the next slide. And yes, so you can see this huge list of detailed step-by-step tasks and instructions that we had to complete, right? So we have to painstakingly go through each of these steps and check them off and make sure we didn't skip over or miss any or mess any of these steps up. And in the next slide, you can see how long it took for us to complete all of it. So moving on to the dry run. When we attempted our first practice run, Arinzi and I had never been involved in an upgrade before, so we ran into a lot of errors during the dry run, a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of bottlenecks, and all of these issues added up to around 29 total hours of work across 2 weeks to finally finish this first practice run of the upgrade. And you can see in the chart on the right side, the list of steps with the bottleneck steps being listed in red. And you can see they took multiple hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes, 2 hours, 30 minutes, 5 hours. Some of these steps took a really long time. Next slide, please. Back one slide, Lorenzi, please.
No, please.
Yeah, there you go. So after we finally finished the dry run, we took the documentation and experience that we gained from this practice run of the upgrade and used that to come up with a better plan in order to increase our efficiency and lower the time of the actual upgrade as much as possible. And we're glad to say that the plan worked because we went from a total upgrade time of around 29 hours over 2 weeks to only 12.6 hours over 3 days, basically the weekend. And so we literally lowered our time to less than half of the original upgrade. And some of the major things that we did was to do all of our preliminary preparation in the week before the upgrade rather than doing it during the day of the upgrade. And we moved the upgrade to the weekend so that it wouldn't interfere with Fulton County working hours. And since less people were working, it decreased network traffic and sped up some of the upgrade steps for us, such as just installing the server. It went faster, And finally, we communicated with more Fulton County staff to help us prepare for and clear out some of the steps of the upgrade quicker as well. Next slide, please. And so after going through all of these milestones, now you can see the fruits of our labor after the success of the production server upgrade. And here you can see the contrast of the old 10.5 server on the left and the new 2020.2 server in terms of user interface and cosmetics. Next slide, please. So besides the cosmetic changes to the server, we want to emphasize that, like Arinzi mentioned earlier, we jumped through like 4 or 5 years worth of version releases from 10.5 that was released in around 2016 to 2020.2, which was released last year. And there have been so many new features added that we couldn't possibly go through all of them, but we're super excited and hopeful for Tableau users at Fulton to start discovering and using all of these great new features. We'll go over 2 of the most interesting features we found and we'd like to share with you guys real quick. Next slide, please. So the first feature that we found really fascinating was Ask Data. In a nutshell, you can go to any piece of content in your server, such as a workbook or view. You can open Ask Data, you can type in a statement or query, such as in this example of profit over time. Once you enter that in, it completes and even breaks down the calculations that it's doing in the background for you. And then it outputs the answer in visual that you want without having to do any extra work. It's literally like asking it a question, like asking Siri a question on an iPhone. Next slide, please. And we know that in the past, Tableau has had some limitations regarding implementing mapping features. But thanks to the new server, there's now a plethora of new features related to mapping, including this, spatial joins. And spatial joins are basically combining 2 different maps to make a completely new map or visualization. And so in this example, you can see that the map on the left shows different regions of Japan's water basins. And on the right, you can see an entirely different map showing a little scatter plot of a bird or waterfowl sightings. And we can simply merge these 2 maps and create an entirely new heat map. of bird sightings in Japanese basins. Next slide, please.
Okay, so with every rose has its thorn. So we went through the Tableau upgrade. We did encounter some risks, or some post-upgrade risks that we are currently trying to resolve. Nothing major for the most part, but we just wanted to share with you guys just to keep you guys aware. So the first thing is Tableau does not have inbuilt data governance, typically meaning that as you upload your data into Tableau, Tableau is not responsible for the security of said data. With that being said, we are currently in talks with the Fulton County IT department to configure a way to secure our data due to the fact that we are working with very sensitive information. The second risk is unfamiliarity with the new Tableau server. This is a new software. This is a new software interface rather, and people typically are not used to this. So we are creating an onboarding, getting started manual that will educate people on the basics of the new Tableau server. In addition to that, we do have several trainings, lunch and learns, and other informative programs scheduled to educate the Fulton County staff who will be working with the Tableau server. And we do have some persisting non-critical errors, but those will be getting resolved as well in the near future to come. So now for the lessons and skills that we've learned. This experience has been the experience of a lifetime, I would say. It's been a good time. I've learned so much throughout this particular experience. And definitely one thing I would say is project management. So in addition to this, in addition to working with Tableau, we did have to work with Microsoft Project, which is one of the most widely used softwares across several organizations in several sectors. We basically use this to kind of plan out the Tableau server upgrade. We use this to schedule times, meeting times that we'll be upgrading the server, times we'll be working, and things of that sort. And in addition to that, we did have to learn exactly how to manage our time, how to critically think through situations and critically think through problems, and patience. Definitely this process did require a lot of patience. In addition to that, we did learn the use of other tools such as LogShark, which is basically a probing software that you use to probe the Tableau server for any errors. And we also learned the art of effective communication, both verbal and nonverbal, with communicating with both ourselves, our stakeholders, our professors, partners, and even our project sponsors. So definitely we did learn this. And I think I can definitely attest to the fact that with Jeffrey and I at the beginning of the semester, we would get so nervous every time I had to give a presentation. But by the end of the semester, we had been doing this every week where it was like, oh, wow, another presentation. Okay, cool. Let's knock it out. So that's definitely an attestament to our growth in the effective communication sector. With that being said, that is about it. And we thank you guys so much for your time. And if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, this would be the time to lay it at us. But go easy.
Wow, great job. That's a strong ending. Strong ending of the program. Chris, Jessica, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do. And I might add that was a very good presentation. But we have one question from Donald, and he says, "Is there a connector for AMS ERP?"
AMS ERP. I'm ashamed. Well, Michael says thumbs up, but to be honest, I don't know what that is.
Well, so I'll say,
this is Narendra.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Narendra.
Hey, Donald, you can connect any database, not only AMS, any database. AMS nothing but Oracle, database.
Yeah, there was a huge list of data sources you could connect to, but I didn't know what that particular one was.
See, the Tableau is nothing but data analytic tool. So they have so many data connections. They can connect Oracle, SQL Server, Big Data, SAP, like HANA, whatever database, they have all connections. You can connect any database. You can connect, see,
Yeah.
CJ is nothing but that is also database, no? You can connect there, you can run the report from there too.
Well, Narendra, I think what everybody needs to know is that what Donald is asking, the ERP, it's our HR and financial systems.
No, that's what I'm telling. This is all saving the Oracle database.
But I'm saying I don't know if the students know that. So I wanna
Yeah. So you can connect Tableau server to any application. You can connect to the AMS too.
Cool.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Narendra.
Thank you, Narendra. Next question.
Yes, we have another question from Donald, and he says, Power BI versus Tableau, which is better?
BI versus Tableau.
Yeah, so Power BI is another type of business
Data
intelligence.
analytics visualization tool.
Just like Tableau.
Okay, I don't think we worked extensively with that software. We're mostly focused on Tableau.
Yeah, pretty much 100% on Tableau. But from what we understand is Tableau tends to have more updates. Like, we talked in the presentation, they're always releasing a bunch of features.
Yeah, these are all analytical tools, okay? These are all different companies. So Tableau is one of the company. Power BI
we do know that Power BI is Microsoft, yeah.
Microsoft. There is one called SAP too. It's called like Business Objects. And also there is called IBM called Cognos. There are so many versions,
Yeah.
These are all data analytical tools.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So depending upon the company flavor,
So I think, Donald, you just need to make your own assessment and just choose the tool you like it. But however, I know Fulton County as now has Tableau, the newest and the greatest.
Yeah, I just need everybody to know this project and the success of this project is going to help a lot of these other teams do their work for Tableau.
Absolutely. I just want to let everybody know because Chad and I, we were really behind the scene asking executive team to move forward with this project. There was some hesitation, but finally we were able to push forward.
Yeah.
And voila, look what have happened. And as Chad mentioned, Ford automation project depends on this. Dream Team project depends on this. My data in Center of Excellence depends on this. My signature project depends on Tableau. But there are lots of correlations and cohesiveness with other projects. So we're really proud of you.
Yes.
And that's a really big help for us.
Thanks, guys.
Kudos.
I guess we're happy that you guys got the project through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Us too.
Chad and I, we had a big conversation. So I see, Michael, you're really eager to say something. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I have a thank you list of people who have really helped out with this project that I need to go through. The first is, of course, both you, Jeffrey, and Narendra. The second are the previous team interns.
And Arinza, I think you want to say Arinza.
Yeah. The second is the previous team interns with you and the phase 1 interns. They really worked their butt, and we couldn't have done this without any of those teams. In terms of the security office, I would like to thank Justin Crowder, Dakota Stark, Rafael Riviera for all their help with the SSL keys. In terms of database, I would like to thank Jason Kendrick, and then our data stewards, who are the main people in charge of most of the data connections, Steve Williams, Ushra Pocarel, Deborah Jackson, and Terrence Harris. In terms of people who helped us test the server, and I would like to thank Bo, who's actually from Justina's data analytics team, and Louita. They were very instrumental, as well as Christopher Phillips, Jessica Allen, and Micah Womack. Finally, the vendors. I would like to thank our current Tableau account manager, Manuel, and his assistant, Craig, as well as our Interworks vendors, Leonardo and Cody Ehlers. I really couldn't have done it with any of those guys, and I really appreciate all your guys' hard work.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome job, guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm hoping, Arinza and Jeffrey, that you guys are going to come up with an article out of this project for
Yes.
Center of Excellence page. I'm really thinking that you guys can share your knowledge and your experience, because that's really beneficial for other students.
Absolutely. We'll try our best to pass it on.
Yeah, one day you guys will come to one of the Center of Excellence team building and you'll share your knowledge with others.
Sure.
So,
Thank you guys so
great
much.
job.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
So this is the time that everyone can share your feedback for the team in the chat, and my team, please promote everyone from attendees to the panelists. We are about to conclude. About 6-7 hours. Michael?
I
What
was
did you
just
say?
saying, thank you, Steve Gale.
And Steve Gale, yes. Yes, yes. It's been a long day for everybody. Please turn your camera on. I am so proud of you. You guys have no idea how your energy on me. I just want to make sure that everyone just performs excellent, and you guys have done above and beyond. You guys have no idea. I just want to express my gratitude to all the sponsors and clients. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. And I also want to thank my team that was supporting behind the scene, Kirby Lou, Christopher Phillips, and Jessica Allen. They're doing lots of work behind the scene to make this happen. There's lots of testing, collaboration that we want to make sure that you guys look professional, that the sound is professional, the background is professional. You guys are going to be able to share this link with your future employees. You guys are going to go for the interview. So remember, wherever you go, Fulton County goes with you. I am always behind you, always. Wherever you guys go, Justina is there. So please stay in touch. Connect with us on LinkedIn. It's very important because I'm going to be watching you. When you guys are going to get the job, when you guys are going to go for the interviews, text us, send us emails. We want to know what is happening in your life. We always talk to each other whenever you guys send us a text message, send us an email, how because we want the best for all of you. Just always ask questions if you guys are not sure about the interviews that you guys are going to go for, how to share your knowledge from this experience. Please reach out to me or reach out to your sponsors. We are here for you to support you.
Yep.
This is a family.
You supported us. We want to support you.
Absolutely. And hopefully when this pandemic will go away, we will have a happy hour. We'll be able to meet. It's not only this semester, but previous semester is the third semester that we're doing virtually. So I know that it's a little bit different than in normal environment. So we appreciate you that you guys been able to build those relationships via Zoom, Teams, WebEx. So how many of you have befriend your teams or somebody else from another team on LinkedIn? Arinza, how many members do you have on your LinkedIn now from this program?
He forgot to friend me.
You see? Guys, you guys are friends for life. You have no idea how you guys are going to be leaning on each other and supporting each other.
Absolutely. We owe it.
One day you're going to be a director, CIO, CFO, all kinds of roles, managers.
And we're going to retire and just need to come back to get a little extra money. So I'm going to need y'all to kind of give me a little temp job or something. I don't know.
So, but really, it's important.
Joke about that. You joke about that.
For real.
Hold on one second, Michael. But I really want you guys to take this to your heart, because many times, so many of my classmates, they get in touch with me and they ask me, Justina, do you know anybody that is looking for a position? I'm giving lots of references. So you guys are going to be relying on each other. This is a family. You think that's a short period of time, but soon you guys are going to be employed and life may happen. Things may shift. You may look for a job. So you guys are going to have a huge network, and those people know people. So through this small group, you guys are going to get to know 2,000 people. People know people.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really proud of you. I know that some of you have been really nervous, but you guys really went above and beyond. Joe, you did phenomenal. You did really good. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, continue with your presentation skills. I mean, like even like Dunham said, I mean, the progression of where you start to where you end, it just continues to get better. It just takes time, you know, but it will become nothing to you after a while.
Absolutely. And at different skills, things are changing, the different dynamics. So you guys always need to be in touch with the technology and different ways of presenting. Join Toastmasters. If you're still nervous, that's a great tool of learning how to present. Take some classes. And again, stay in touch. We have one more week, so please remember Kirby is going to send you guys survey. You have to submit all the deliverables. Your sponsor will not be able to grade you without all those deliverables. That's my law from now on. Because in the past, we didn't get all the deliverables, and I've seen that some of the sponsors already grade students. No, you cannot do that. You do need to submit by the 27th. You have to submit all the deliverables. Then you have 3 days for the adjustment and corrections.
Yeah, I just want to say something. I'm so impressed by Atlanta Technical College. Dr. Shields and I are friends. I'm going to tell her about you guys. I met her a long time ago when she was at Gwinnett Tech. I used to be vice president there. We were friends. But you guys at Atlanta Technical, Georgia State and Kennesaw State, I always know they're good. But you guys at Atlanta Technical College, you're rocked. I must say that I was very, very impressed by the technical. Yep.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Donna, for that feedback, especially since Atlanta Technical College is our first collaborative university.
They represented them very, very well.
They did.
Well,
wherever Donna goes, he knows everybody.
Well, thank you for they get a great mentors and supervisors. That's most important. And so we cannot teach them in the class. They all learn from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hong, for those kind words.
And I'm very proud of my team, both Chad and Pam. I think especially both of them took quite a bit of load, initially kicking and screaming, and then they just did some fantastic work. Thanks, Chad, and thanks, Pam. I appreciate it.
Yes.
A pleasure.
And you've seen, Donald, we have pushed for Tableau and was accomplished.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the reason for my question is I just wanted you all to understand when you do any tool like a data visualizations, try to understand the other tools. I mean, I know clearly which tool will work well for Fulton County because there's also cost involved. Microsoft Power BI is much cheaper than Tableau, but Tableau in terms of features is better. But I just want you guys to understand when you do something, look at the other things as well. It helps you in your career. Like SAP Info Advantage is another BI tool. So it gives you a broad spread of knowledge. So when you look at any tool, look at their competition.
Thanks, Donald.
Right.
Thank you, Donald.
In fact, I would say.
And now I would like to, hold on one second, Michael. I know that it was a long day, but I want to get the feedback from the students because the light is on you right now, and I will be able to have that opportunity. What is your feedback from today when you guys actually have gone through this experience?
I learned a lot from looking at everyone else's presentations in the other departments. Since we didn't directly get to work with other teams, it was a lot of good information shared on the projects that they work on.
Thank you, Ebony. Joseph? It looks like his internet went out. Anybody else would like to share? Shaharia?
It was amazing to see how other teams have done their work, and especially the soft skills we have developed so far. was a great experience to see other team as well.
Ali?
No, honestly, like listening to everybody's projects, it just blew me away because I know that our group was working on one thing and we were collaborating with another team, but then now I got to see the full picture, right? Like everybody's experience and everybody kind of went through the same thing that our team kind of went through, you know, collaborating with each other, asking those kind of questions. Sometimes we were afraid like, hey, should we ask? Should we not ask? But I'm really happy to see that everybody got to develop these skills. And, you know, these skills will take us a long way. These soft skills, asking the right type of question, not being afraid, you know, learning how to connect with each other will definitely help us a long way. And I can see that now, like clearly how all the projects, they went through the same phases. First, they were scared, they were skeptical about it. They were like, oh, should we do it? Should we not? Then in the end, they had to go after it and then they got it done. That's kind of how we transitioned as well. But we need to take this learning opportunity. We need to learn from this and gain from this and apply it in our future lives.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I would like to hear something from Dr. Denju. You've been quiet. You're muted, sir. Yes, Atlanta Technical College is getting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, they're
Yeah,
getting.
Sometimes it's always we expect commendation from the king or from the boss, but we never know that the boss also needs commendation from us. So it goes both ways. I have to say thank you to Fulton County, especially Justina, for this, for even creating this platform, Capstone. It's a wonderful location. Germany government, the government of Federal Republic of Germany, they did notice that this whole state has to be involved in the education of German children. So they created a situation where you have to do some of your work in the classroom and the other in the industry. And they call it German Enterprise Module. So now Fulton County has put us on that track, which is similar to German Enterprise Module. Because what you have done here on this platform, you cannot sit in a whole year or many years and read it and know it. You have given the future generation and the nation a platform to move forward and challenge technology. Because technology belongs to the user, not the creator. The inventor does not have the technology. It's the person who could sit down and go through the intricacies of that inventor's action and use it. That's the person who owns the technology. You have created a platform for the users, not only the platform for the inventor to push the product, but the platform for those who are going to make the users of the technology use it. And I say thank you on behalf of Atlanta Tech for being able to give our students a platform to at least mention our name. If they have not achieved any other thing, they have achieved the mentioning our name so that others can say that, oh, they exist. So we thank you. And listening to all this presentation, I do not know which other platform someone can stay in 2 hours and be able to grasp everything these students have done here. And I say thank you to all of you. It's wonderful. We are always thanking you, and we appreciate your efforts, Fulton County, through Justina and the rest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jendu. When I built this program with three or four Capstone students from Georgia State, I had no idea that this program will shoot for the stars, and it's still growing, and we're going to do more and more. So stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anybody else would like to provide a feedback? Otherwise, I think we're just going to take a picture and then we're going to depart. Let's do something fun. Any ideas, suggestion? What can we do? It's such a limited option with the Zoom. We always do thumbs up.
The webcam quit, so I cannot show my face. I can't figure out how to work.
Look at Donald. He put a mask. That's his idea. Yeah, that's a new. Okay, everyone will do something, and then Kirby or Jessica, can someone take a picture? Strike a pose. How about that?
How can I pose?
Strike a pose, exactly. Let's bring a little bit of fun here. Come on, Chris, Lorenza, Jeffrey, Joe.
Kirby, do you want me to take it or will you take it?
Would you mind? Because my computer is being used for the YouTube.
Yeah, I can get it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I have to do 2 because it's 2 screens of people. So everybody pose. 1, 2, 3. All right.
There's one more screen.
I'll take one more. All right, 1, 2, 3. Got it. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart.
Thank you so much. And now you guys can just give yourself applause. Come on, guys. I want to hear you. Come on, bring that energy.
Oh my God.
You deserve.
Over. Y'all finished.
Well deserved, everybody. Well deserved. Stay in touch. Find me on LinkedIn. Keep sending me text message. I just want to say, Miss Justina, I found the job. That's when I want to hear it. And if you need help, assistance, please let us know. We are always here for you. You wanna, you don't wanna, you have us. Hey, Mr. Terrence.
Were
you able to be on the picture?
I was on the picture.
Were you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you were.
I can't let this moment go by and not pause us for a moment. The things that you do for this county, you, Jessica, and Kirby, are off the chart. And so I'm going to ask everybody to unmute your mics and offer them respect. And we can't give them a standing ovation, but we can put our hands together for Justina and her team.
Thank you, Terrence. Both dances.
You guys gonna make me cry.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Jessica, for sending out the reminder emails of what week we're
Every
in.
week.
I would get lost.
I know, it's confusing. No problem.
Yes. And I'm so proud of my team. They are doing tremendous work behind the scene. You guys have no idea how much work we do to put those emails together. With meetings, we're organizing, we want to make sure that everything is put together diligently, that you guys clear about every single information before we sending out. So kudos. Thank you. Terrence, Derek, were you guys able to be on the picture? Did you strike the pose? That's the most important thing.
Okay.
So thank you, everyone. Enjoy your evening. It's Friday. Do something fun. Enjoy. And next week, make sure you submit all your deliverables. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Justina, where do we deliver?
Thank
the
you,
laptop
Justina,
to?
and your team.
You will know. We will let you know.
Okay.
Monday's emails.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Enjoy.
Thank you,
Have a
Justine.
great weekend.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
There.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Justina. Thank you,
You're
Justina.
welcome.